Just see your thumb then, Matt, and you're rubbing your camera lens. All I can see were a blurry smudge. Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to this week's Friday Night Live. Obviously, we couldn't go live last night because, as some of you may know, and others that may not, but those that don't know, I shall inform you again. I was working yesterday evening down at Exclusively Koi for their second shipment of, it is the second shipment of of koi that I've been involved with. The first time was down there for a visit, but this time I was down there in a working capacity to give the guys an hand, which is obviously Ryan and Kev, getting the stock and everything that they got in on their latest shipment, which Matt will know all about because was doing the same thing himself yesterday too.
Well, I know we were all doing it yesterday.
Yeah, busy, wasn't it? Crafty doing it, you doing it, me, us doing it. We were a busy time for all.
Good. Spent the day today. I had a really busy one. Spent about 7 hours just going.
Just admiring them all. Great to see everything come through. Good, mate. Everything all right?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good. Yeah,
that's what we want to
do. It's funny, even with the quantity you buy, how you put them in the tanks and you can actually stand there and go, I can remember looking at that one on the day.
I've got to admit, mate, when we were going fruit bags, I was like, obviously there was some that I hadn't seen because Ryan did some picking and some selecting of, which at the risk of losing people watching, don't forget, guys, do us a huge favor when you get a chance. Pop over to Exclusively Koi's YouTube channel, give them a sub, give them a like, give them a bit of love, and check out their new Japanese koi carp successful shipment video, which they've just dropped about an hour ago. So it'd be great if you could all get over there. You can go now if you want, but I prefer it if you didn't. But obviously, if you want to go over there afterwards and make sure you have a look at that video to see some of the stock which is up and coming in the very near future. Obviously, one's gone through quarantine. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic to be involved in that again. And like you said, Matt, you see fish and you think, oh, I remember swimming with you. Well, you won't remember that, but I do. I certainly remember being there while they were there and being picked. But to see some of them again, you think, wow, those have travelled all that distance and they come all that way, but yet still look absolutely banging. Yeah, and then obviously I didn't get to see that. I found my pond anyway. I know my pond. Good evening, Rick. You good, mate?
Evening, mate. You all right?
Yeah. Had a good holiday?
Which one? Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can touch base on your first one, but we'll just quickly say, obviously, because we don't want to put, it's family. It was a family holiday, which is the actual holiday. The other one was a business trip, wasn't it, mate? Business trip.
Yeah.
That's what business. It was. Business trip. That's what it was.
That's why we didn't have any fun at all.
No, obviously not. Just pure business. Early to bed, early to rise, fish to select and pick. What was your other holiday? I believe you saw more snow.
Yeah, Transylvania. Proper snowy.
Proper snowy.
Proper snowy. Yeah. Not as deep snow, but yeah, colder. It was -12, I think, when we left Transylvania.
That's pretty bloody cold, isn't it?
And he made Ezra walk all the way from the hotel over to the airport, wasn't it, Rick?
No, from the house we were staying in to the train station, about 2 miles in the dark.
In the dark, raising his butt off. Ezra, you got to have words. I bet you loved it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got a bit of, did you get, am I right in thinking you got a bit of skiing in?
Yeah.
Yeah, good man. Cool. Did you ever go snowboarding or just skiing?
Just the skiing.
Just the skiing.
And skydiving.
Gently.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know if it was something you do regular as a family, or a lot of people do, don't they? But I thought snowboarding is supposed to be a bit more difficult, isn't it, balance-wise, than the skis?
Dad thinks it's easier.
I think you're one or the other. Skis.
I think if your dad's Ezra, he's just more worried about breaking bones, mate.
Fair enough.
If you don't break something, that's a positive result and a good day had by all.
It was good though, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And Matt got you some Pokemon in Tokyo. Got getting Pokemon's up.
Absolute banging cards I got in that. Absolute banging cards.
Banging. They were mint.
Banging ones.
Bonkers, apparently.
Mint condition.
Mint condition they were because they were brand new.
Yeah, but people could have resealed packs.
No,
lots of people do that, Dad.
I don't think they do that.
Yeah, they do.
Have you got any trades? Have you got any ones that you can trade off?
Yeah, some of them I got double Vs, which is perfect. Perfect to trade. Double Japanese Vs. Try to get some.
No. You've done my head in.
So a nice time had by all then, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been a busy couple of days. So yeah.
Go on then.
But I got to pick Vince up in the morning. We're off to Gatwick Koi tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nothing like driving up and down the motorway continually.
Yeah, you've certainly done some travelling, haven't you? In this month. Go on then. Seeing as though technically you've not had the chance to air it or think, have your say about what you thought. What were your impressions of? I mean, I know you did on the actual day itself, but what did you take from it, Rick, going over there to Japan?
A bit like deja vu, most of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
The vast majority hasn't changed. The bits that have changed are like the more showroomy, higher end stuff down near Nagaoka or whatever, where obviously that's where the main customers are. And yeah, they're the sort of displayers of Odecan, Kalkami, Dainichi, or whatever are just they're like showrooms now rather than a koi farm. It's a clean, tidy showroom. It's the way the world is, isn't it? But see, the minute you go away from that back up towards the farms, it turns into a death trap of electrics, boardwalks, and yeah.
Some of them are a bit daunting, aren't they, to walk across on some of those narrow walkways, and then thinking that you've actually got to crouch down on some of them areas and hand select fish on them is a little bit. Yeah, there were a couple of times where I thought this is a bit dodgy. This I might end up going in again here. Like when you, especially on some boards, around edges that they're a bit slippy out. They're a bit slippy underfoot. But yeah,
you get slippy ones, and then you get the bouncy ones as you're going across.
Yeah, when you get that spring as you're going across them.
But yeah, it's to say the vast majority of it is just like a time warp. Most of it hasn't changed, and a lot of the fish, the quality of fish is always good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's
can't knock it all, mate. What I saw was absolutely amazing.
Quantities are mad or whatever, but yeah, it was nice, and obviously to experience with different people with Matt and his customers and whatever is just.
And you all gelled well, though, didn't you? You all had a good laugh as well, which is a good thing because it not only does it become a buying trip or as a business side of it, you also add the element of a lad's trip too. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in that sense, but you got together, you got a good time, you got a good bit of laugh and a good bit of crack with it as well, didn't you? Which is it always makes it easy, doesn't it? Breaks the ice. I mean, let's face it, you were other than you and Matt, you were three other guys that had never ever met each other. So you were a group of 5 guys other than you two that didn't even know each other, and all you got on pretty well and enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yeah,
it appears you did anyway.
The jelly
alcohol's brilliant, isn't it?
Alcohol, yeah.
Matt's obviously frozen out there in the sticks. Yeah, so Matt obviously knew his customer. I didn't know anyone, but at the end of the day,
yeah,
that doesn't stop me, does it? It's just
you've always come across as 2 guys that are very easy to get along with, and I think that would break the ice as it did exactly for us when we were on ours. It was brilliant. I had a lovely time. 2 gentlemen I've never met before. I'd spoken with 2 in a chat before, but never ever met them. But we had I think we all had a really good time on ours as well. It was fantastic. Now you're saying that you don't think it's changed much. Do you look at that as a positive or a negative?
Well, there's aspect that the bits that have perhaps changed are the obviously you still see the breeders, they still go out, whatever. But when we went, you went to their farm and you sort of had to sit and have dinner with them in the house. You get to see some of the family. It's all, this is our business or whatever. It's much more personal.
Did you miss that element to it then? Would you have preferred that traditional type of old school business ethic?
To a point, but you can't have it when there's that many people visiting now and the groups are that much bigger. It just doesn't, it has to be like it is. I get that. That's just the way it is, isn't it? You got your little house with your nana and your mum or whatever, and you can't invite seven Westerners in, clogging snow through the house. And yeah, so that side of it's slightly different, but I think that's just the volume of people visiting has increased, and it is a bigger business than it was. So it just expands, doesn't it? And hence the bigger farms with more showroom-esque stuff lower down the mountain, where you can present your fish in a higher end way, basically, isn't it? You safe to walk along and people to pick and choose or whatever, rather than get up in the mountains and walk across a 5-inch bit of wood across a pond, risking life and limb.
But for you, that's home from home, though, isn't it, Rick? Because that's I don't mean you risk life and limb at yours, but that type of style, how you had yours originally before you put your long walkway across, that was your kind of thing, wasn't it? You were just small little narrow walkways that you used to get around in to optimize the maximum of what you'd got to make it work.
I think that's the difference between a farm and a shop or a showroom or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you just can't. you can't have that if you've got 10 customers turning up and some of them aren't that able-bodied or whatever. They can't even. You just can't have it. Yeah, health and safety catches up with everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
assuming
wouldn't
that
be
you've
able to
got
do
the
it.
element of both, though, haven't you? Well, Matt.
No.
I was just saying you wouldn't be allowed to do it in the UK. You would be pulled up left, right, and centre.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
I don't
but
think
you've got with your farm, Rick, you've got elements of both, haven't you? You've got the working environment which is suited for you, and then you've got a showroom and a shop for people and public can come through and visit anyway, haven't you? You again, same with Matt with his facility. He has got an area which will be now for his quarantine and such that is just installed and got all up and running, mate, which is now being put to test. And then he's got the showroom shop side of things to push his customers through for sales. So for them, it's a little different, isn't it? They don't really seem to rock same way as what we do. Some of the bigger farms do, very much so, but the smaller hobbyist kind of hobbyist styled looking kind of places, I won't say they were hobbyists doing it. They're obviously business and companies, but they seem to be. It's more old school, isn't it? Everything's.
Yeah, it's just different horses. You know, they were farms that slowly people went to. That wasn't how it was set up, was it? So obviously, a shop, you've got to have disabled access, fire. You've got to have everything in place to allow everyone a safe visit. As soon as you go up a nose, well, to be fair, even driving the car up to the mountains is not a safe visit.
It is for me, Rick. You didn't feel nervous.
I did all right. To be fair,
he did all right.
All right, getting around.
But yeah, it's quite it's quite a challenge, and I think that's part of the appeal. But it's also it can be a negative thing, isn't it? When you spend an hour and a half trying to drive up a mountain to go and see a breeder that's either not there or not got fish that you're after, or whatever. It's part of the challenge, part of the joy of it. But also, when you're only there a limited amount of time, it puts pressure on you, doesn't it? Because you've got an idea in your head what you want to buy or what you need to buy, and suddenly after 2 days, you might not have found anything that you are after, and it's like shit. I'm running out of time, and I've got to get, which is where like Ryan and Atsushi are amazing, aren't they? Because they've obviously got contact. They know roughly what's where, who you can go to, make appointments, and make sure you're heading in the right direction from the minute you start to the minute you leave. Yeah,
I think between
on the bullet train, he's like literally still going. We've run out of money. No, come and look at these.
I think between them though, it's well oiled, and a well-oiled machine seems to run very well. I don't think there was a single day where we hadn't got a prior plan of what we were doing, even for every evening meal or every lunchtime meal or whatever. They knew where we were going, where we were going to be eating, what we were going to be doing, what we'd be moving to next, and it were well, yeah. For me, it were perfect. It was absolutely fantastic. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. It's just obviously it's getting the expectation and reality together, and you can go with the rose tinted spectacles, and it's going to be amazing. And it is amazing, but
I can understand the same point that you're trying to make, mate. If you went somewhere and somebody's beaten you there to it before, or there's been 2 or 3 parties before, you could go there, and there isn't anything that you're particularly looking for. And then you might have to wait for a revisit when they bring more stock in, kind of thing, which to an element is wasted time when you've been there, and where you're going to go to next to find what you might be looking for. Or do you risk going back and seeing if he's got something when he pulls his stock in? There's a lot of business choices to be made when you're doing it from your side. For me, it was a totally different aspect to it, but I can completely, I reckon there'd be a bit of head stretch and a bit of head scratching and thinking, what now? What when you're looking for a specific piece, it's not as easy, is it?
No, it's getting the right fish at the right budget in the right way and whatever. And we had some great hits and some bad misses. It's just that's part of the joy of it. As long as I think if you've got you've got the people in place that can make sure you're going to the right places, so you do eventually start hitting the right stock, the right stuff. But time of year, I mean, it changes. When I went, people weren't February 20 years ago, Tozo wasn't really a thing. That's people weren't buying little fish then. They didn't even like selling them then. They're too fragile, too small. And now you're almost too late. A lot of them are already being sold. It's everything moves along, and the people that are out there on the ground obviously know you've got to have those contacts out there. But
you can see why Ryan's out there for 6 weeks, because it does just continuously rotate,
change and rotate. Yeah. Whereas things might not be available 1 week, 2 weeks down the line, they might be again, and they're there for another option to go in.
Yeah, it's also, I think the later you leave it, there might be better deals to add, because obviously they want to get rid of stock as they're coming through to the end of spring, when I concentrate on the next, get the fish out of the fish houses and get on with the next part of the season. But you also run the risk of them selling out of stock. There's nothing left, or what they got left's not the right quality. Yeah, you just, that's why agents are out there continually, aren't they?
The agents are working hard, aren't they? To be fair, they've got a lot to do and do it extremely well. Especially, I saw those guys even on an evening. You're sat there thinking, right, we're going out for an evening meal, and he's joining us. He's technically still working, poor lad. Because I'm saying poor lad. That's his, but his job never stops. Right to the point where he's and taking you back home. You're dropping you off. And his evenings like 2 or 3 hours. Get home, get changed, get a shower, sit down, back up stupid o'clock in the morning, and back over there to pick you up again. It's for those guys, it's full on, isn't it? All day, all evening. It's a lot.
Can you imagine what it must be like going out to work and having to sit there for 2 hours listening to Ricky on the karaoke? Not a good day's work.
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good, I reckon.
I reckon he'll love it. Actually, you found one of your most favourite things in that place, didn't you? And got quite into an open discussion with that individual in the unisex toilets. You were amazed by that, weren't you? Told you they were smart.
I love you. You're amazing.
I love you. I'm the best thing of the whole trip. Talking to a toilet seat.
It was been a long night. I reckon I've been on the karaoke about 4 hours by then.
Oh yeah, apparently you were on the karaoke while the karaoke wasn't playing anymore. You were just freestyling it. Mate, go for it.
Got to be done on it.
Yeah, of course it has.
It was a good time.
Have a good laugh.
I bruised on my ribs from laughing so much every day.
So then, what have we got topic-wise? If anybody's got anything they would like to have a natter and a chat about this evening, either bang them in the comments, guys. Just stick it in with a couple of question marks or in capital letters, something that makes it stand out from all the rest of. Not that I'm saying I'm ignoring the rest of the comments, but that makes it stand out as a question so that I don't miss it. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have a couple of topics. I've got one, but it's more related to me. So we have another. Any topics or subjects you guys want to touch on that you want to discuss yourselves?
Don't know. Well, how's your first week been technically,
officially, my first day is Monday, but I have been down there to give them an 3 days this week. So I've been down there and obviously there for the shipment. I mean, if this is, I said to Ryan the other day, and this is God's honest truth. It's so nice that they just throw me straight in the middle of it. And I'm not just, I'm not doing all the crap jobs. I'm involved in everything. It's not here. I'll give him that. I'll delegate him that. And I know there's going to be times when I'm going to get the jobs which aren't the best of it all. But I've been doing everything from water tests, filter cleans, grading fish, looking through fish, stock taking, photographing, you name it. And so far, up to press, there hasn't been anything. Oh no, I'm going to say there hasn't been anything I haven't enjoyed. But I will say this much: when you're shifting and you're lugging 56 bags of fish, and every time you come back for your bag full of fish, it seems to be the furthest pond at the furthest distance in the longest one away. Even when I tried tactically, think right, okay, I've got the longest distance to travel every time so far. I'll hang fire and Kev grab a bag, and then Andy grab a bag. I still got the furthest tank again. I'm like, shit, man, even the chat. But that's surprisingly when you're moving that amount of fish, there's some bloody weight in them. You don't expect them to be as, you pick up a box and you think, oh, that's not too bad. That's quite light. And then you pick up what you think's a short box, thinking this is going to be, another light one, and it weighs an absolute ton. You think, fuck, God damn, I'm gonna put my back out if I'm not careful with that. So I mean, some of them you just think, God, you pick them up like the note, but then you get a whole bag full of fish that's got like 100 and odd in it, and you think, God damn, there's weight of water, fish, and what have you. I was surprised just how, I wouldn't say tiring, but it's a physical workout, isn't it? It's not.
It's using different muscles as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's been my words to Ryan.
Take a wheelbarrow out there and say,
no, we got it sorted. We got it sussed. The last time I was there, we trundled them up and down on trolley jacks. But this time I managed to persuade Andy to drive them down with his little tractor with a little trailer on back. So we got all the boxes stacked on. Then we just had to pick them up, pick them out, and then carry them into each pond that they were going into. But there's still that element of when we were moving some fish and some stuff were going out. And I think we took out 22 boxes. And we trundled all those 22 boxes up, and we're doing it manually with sack carts. And I'm thinking, God damn, man, I need to stop vaping, or I need to get some exercise. I need to get fitter again. Because when you've done so many years of just little miniature repairs and not so much physical graft like I used to do, you soon realize it when you get involved in doing something. And I thought, God damn, yeah, this is gonna take a little bit of getting used to again. But the vast majority of it isn't. Well, I haven't found anything that I haven't enjoyed yet. I've been, it's frustrating when you're trying to take a picture of a fish and it's been a dickhead and it won't stop swimming around ball like an absolute lunatic, and then you put it in a bit more sedate and then it just sits all like that. and it won't move to get in the right position again. So you think, right, well, I'll wait for it to come round again. And the other thing that surprised me more than all is you can have very similar fish, it's little stuff like this if you're taking pictures of them. You put one fish in and it can almost be fast asleep in like 30 seconds. And then you put another one in that can sit there for a good 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes, and it's still giving it, no, I'm not going to sleep. I would have just thought they'd have all been relatively similar, but bigger fish seem to be the same. You can put like a knee sight into for photographing, take a picture of a photograph of a fish that's only been in for maybe 30-40 seconds, and it's already starting to look like it's wobbling. Not like it's sedating. It's going slightly more docile. You put it in bowl, and within seconds of it being bowl, it's like wide awake again. And that can be a bit frustrating. Well, that can be a bit frustrating. I have had a good laugh, me and Kev, with some of them when they just don't play ball. But you've got to put it back, walk away, leave it a little bit, give it another try 10-20 minutes later, and then it plays right then. But yeah, that can be a little frustrating. But so far, I've proper enjoyed it, and I look forward to many, many years to come with them both. Because at the end of the day, I've been made to feel extremely welcome, and it's been a long time since I've woke up before my alarm clock in the morning, and my wife will tell you.
I'm eager to get out. I'm off to work now.
I really have, mate. I really have, honestly. And I'll say this much: I'd be probably one of the luckiest buggers. That's 2025 has been one hell of a start for me. There's been a few things, obviously, Japan, new trip, and then also another little thing, but that's a personal thing through me and my dad. There was going to be a case of, obviously, my wife needs a vehicle, needs to get there and back. Now, there's a negative to the positive, but my dad might now very well be getting diagnosed with dementia, so he's gifted me his car because he's not going to no longer. But that was something he was always intending to do in his will in the future, because it's a car that he's wanted to keep, look after, and maintain. And it's something both me and my dad have always been into. So I've managed to get 3 little bangers that have helped me start off the new year with an absolute, couldn't have been a better start. So fingers crossed. If this year doesn't get any better than what it is already, which I can't see it not doing, I'm just going to keep loving doing what I'm doing down there. It's just going to get better and better. The day after day, it's going to be Yeah, it's going to be mint. Oh, there's not many people that can go from working in an environment where you're not happy to having a hobby that you're passionate about, that you love doing, to then turn your passion and your hobby into your employment and hopefully continue to enjoy it even more than what I already am doing. For me, it's all about the journey of what I've done and where I am and where it's got me to now is mint. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's fair play, mate, isn't it? It's got to be, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's just, if it's your dream, you got to follow it. And that's what you got to do in life if you can, isn't it?
Well, we've spoke about this before, haven't we, Rick? I mean, I've said many times, if I'd have lived closer, you can guarantee me. I mean, I've said it to you. Oh God, I'd love to do this for a living. I really would, genuinely would do. I mean, it's like being in fire service and messing around and playing with water. That was my lifetime's ambition. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a fireman. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen the elements of it. I've seen the highs, the exhilarating bits where you have something really go well, and I've been there right at the opposite bit where it's tormented me for months and months and months. Take out that element and put in the water element back there again, and then throw in your hobby as well. It couldn't be any better. I mean, yeah, it's wicked. It's all around good fun. So far, Ryan don't give us a crap job on Monday. Only joking, but I don't think there will be. I look forward to watching it blossom into what it is. So, yeah. I'm learning more than anything, learning more and more. Listening to, I tell you what, I hope, and I genuinely do mean this, and I've experienced it around you, Rick, and I've experienced it around you, Matt, as well. This is it's your hobby for Matt at one point, which he turned into his business. For you, Rick, it's something you've done for 30 years. It's your work, it's your life, it's in you, it's your passion. And to see, like the guys last night, when we were going through, we were all looking over a bowl of fish, and every one of us were like, oh, wow. But to see them still get that wow of watching fish come in, and even to still see Ryan again go, oh, yeah, I remember this one. This is from so-and-so. This is what is it day when we were there. And to see that buzz still in their eyes, because all I'm thinking is, wow. I'm sat there looking at all these fish thinking, this is brilliant. This is amazing. It's like Christmas. Every bag you open, you're thinking, oh, my God, look at that. But to still see that in them, to still see that passion behind them, and to still see it with you, Rick, when you're going through your fish. And I know there'll be times when your hands are freezing cold and you're thinking, God damn, this weather is shit and miserable, and I'm freezing my balls off up to my chest in a pond. I know there's always those elements of it, but to still see you get that high and that buzz out of it, and to see them do the same, it's mint. You know, I hope that continues for me and just grows even more so. So, fingers crossed.
Hope so. Should do, mate. If you're passionate about it, it's like anything. It's like my new career in karaoke singing.
She's still here somewhere, floating around. Every so often I see her come in.
Who?
The mask. She came on last week, didn't she, Gaz?
She did.
Get over here. Oh, I wonder where it gone.
Yeah, it's upstairs. The other night, I put a towel inside it and put it into my stepson's bedroom. Put the duvet over the top, so she's just looking out. And you could hear him walk up the stairs and go in there and went, ah!
I can't be nick that, man. It's my going out, man.
I've got your coat here as well now.
Right.
I am going to just bring this up just in case, guys. Because obviously we're going live and my son's popped out. I've decided, well, my wife's getting a takeaway in. Now she's just had a foot operation, so she's not able to get up and run to the door when delivery comes. So if the door goes, I will have to jump up and go prep a meal for her and bring it back to her. So you'll have to excuse me. You guys will just have to fill. And I know you're experts at doing it, but it's just a prior warning. If I just dip, you know where I've gone. I will be back. So,
we'll have it all sorted, mate.
You guys covered. The Koi channel's brought up a subject there. Now, I'll touch on it briefly. And this is out of the respect for the Koi community, and there's the reason why. And the reason why I'm not going to bring it there, and I'm not going to take the conversation there. It's been spoke about in the past. It's been spoken and talked about with a little bit of depth to it. the cutting fish was an interesting topic on Twister's video. The reason why I'm not going to go into it is there are certain people that make certain waves in certain areas for certain people and certain communities within the koi community that this makes a touchy subject. So my best way of putting it down to is it does happen. Do we agree with it? That's down to the individual. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to turn around and make a topic of an evening's discussion about it, because I don't really feel as if it's best for the community, so to speak. Not for me, for other people that are involved within it. I don't want to make any issues where it doesn't necessarily need to be.
I think at the end of the day in this country, if fish are tampered with, they're disqualified from shows and whatever. That says enough. It's something we don't need. It's accepted in large parts of the world. It's not here. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Exactly. It's one of those subjects which people can, be easily offended. And I'm not here to offend people. I'm not here to upset people. And I don't really think it's beneficial in any way, shape or form. I can do that enough just by opening my mouth on a regular. We have tried to do it. Jonathan's asked a quick question, which I know you guys can touch on. How do you get a female koi to drop its eggs, please?
Tickler.
You just got to push the right buttons, Jonathan. Bit of Barry White, candle, bit of alcohol.
Yeah. Good. Well, it's one of those, and it's a sequence of
events, isn't it?
That make them release a hormone that releases the blood vessels that connect the eggs to then make the eggs fluid in the body cavity to be released. So it's the pituitary gland that needs to be stimulated, and that's stimulated by environmental factors, i.e. temperature, water clarity, day length, all sorts of little bits will affect it. So the easiest way to get a female to drop her eggs is probably, if she's full of eggs, take her to a show.
That seems to be quite often, doesn't it? There's a lot of female fish or spawning of that, isn't there? The temperature difference, or
it's a change of environment, isn't it? So you take a koi out of its 6 foot square, 4 foot deep pond that's got no plants and no nothing, and put it into a show vat that the temperature fluctuates in. It's shallow. That's a lot of the triggers naturally that would make a female, the hormones released to do what they do. And unfortunately, we do our shows at a time of year when that can happen, isn't it? It's the way of the world. Like the Japanese would be, why are you doing your koi show in the middle of summer? They do it, and they do most of theirs when it's cold or whatever, don't they? But it is what it is. Yeah. If you want to do it, you can almost replicate that. So that's all we do to get the females to spawn, is put them into generally a shallow, warmer environment that triggers those hormones. A bit like a show vat.
It sounds relative. No, I'm not going to. It sounds a bit like it's a difficult thing too, Rick. But when you give myself and Daz, or Daz and myself, the right information on what we needed to do, just being out by a couple of degrees and it didn't work. But the following time, when we prepped and got it ready and got them to that, in that category area, temperature wise, and put all the rest of the fish, like having the females in first and then bringing the males in, kind of thing, and then setting the mood, bit of candle lit, a bit of Barry White played in background. And
Chinese.
Yeah, Bob's your uncle. It worked, but it's proper interesting to be involved in. I proper enjoyed doing it alongside Daz and with Vicky when we did it, when we spawned all those fish with him last time down at farm. It were cool. But the first time we tried it, god damn, that were a long 24 hours. Sat there waiting, thinking, come on, everything should be right. And then we checked the temperatures and we were just off by just that little margin. And it made that much of a difference for him. It looked like they were going to be, but then they wasn't. And you were like, okay.
That's the problem. You stimulate some of the hormones, so the males will start chasing, and you're almost there. But it is just 5 or 6 environmental factors, and yeah, off you go.
I was going to say, even the Tantra shower Rick put into the back pond, she's swimming around there and she's got 3 boys continuously chasing around, continuously.
Well, we're getting close to that time, though, aren't we? We're getting close to, not miles off, but spring is just around the corner, isn't it? 24th of March, and we're officially actually there. But that's the gearing up and preparation for it all to start kicking off, isn't it?
Yeah, but you think about it, she's travelled 6,000 miles in just over 24 hours, and she's being harassed already, by the boys that have done the same.
Isn't that every young lady in a pub on a Friday night?
Not in my case. No.
Just be out there travelling. Jonathan says, I'm pretty sure she's egg bound. Only female that holds its eggs year on year looks like a balloon. I've got one, Jonathan, that plumps up very much throughout the summer months, and then, in fact, she looked proper chunky last summer. And I thought this year, surely that fish is gonna, but they don't necessarily have to spawn. They can reabsorb them, don't they? In a sense,
yeah, they'll carry eggs. Yeah, they'll carry eggs continually. So
it doesn't necessarily mean just because they've got eggs.
When you see this sort of comment, it's generally a fish that's got carrying a lot of eggs, and it will just be super fat continually. And even if you spawn it, it'll probably egg up to the same level in a few months after spawning it. So, yeah, it's to do with certain varieties do it. Shearet series are a nightmare for it. They can become really eggy, and they'll always look fat and eggy. You spawn them, and then you give them 3 months, and they're fat and eggy again, and they'll look like that again. And it's just bone structure, body shape, all these things sort of play parts. You get some chagor that do look like big fat egg machines, and yeah, they can look like for 10 years. You spawn them, they'll be skinny for a few months, and then create the eggs again, and off they go. But yeah, females will generally hold the eggs, and it's part. So if a female holds its eggs nicely, it will look a good shape, and that fish could be spawned in March, April, July, September. Doesn't matter. It's got the eggs. It just needs those triggers, and if it doesn't have the triggers that summer, it will just carry on carrying the eggs, still growing, still developing. You can, like I say, bring that shower from Japan, and it's probably quite a bit colder. You put it into warmer water with some males, and they're probably also thinking, well, hang on, she looks quite ready for it. And they'll chase her out. And if you had that tank at 20 degrees and some spawning ropes in there, they'd probably actually go on and spawn. Unfortunately, your customer's show will look a lot skinnier and battered, and you'll have to explain what's gone on there. But yeah, you want to make sure that you don't above sort of 22 degrees, you're out of it, and below 18 degrees, you're out of it. So you've got a window where spawning's on the menu, and above and below when it's not.
So a truth or myth, when you see on like different Facebook channels or sites a picture of a fish that's well and truly bloated, how many of those are likely to be egg bound? Like everybody always seems to say, fish is egg bound.
Common saying, isn't it? You hear?
Yeah. Caress the belly, and she'll release the eggs, etc., etc. And all the times that I've seen a fish that's extended, we've made a decision it's a tumor. It's got worse and worse, and then you generally see.
He's gone.
He's gone.
And
now you say,
yeah. I mean, basically, yeah. Most of the time I've seen it,
he'll be back.
It's tumors, and it's not egg bound at all. The tumors can be to do with the ovaries or whatever, but yeah, apart from using hormones years ago where you get partial spawnings, I've never seen a naturally egg bound fish. To be egg bound, basically the body cavity is an empty cavity with a vent on the end.
And you can really tell, you can feel the difference on a female fish, can't you? There's a void there when you get your hand underneath them on a bigger fish. You can really feel how the body seems to slump in, doesn't it? Well,
the eggs fill that cavity. So basically, the eggs are every single. It's all blood vessels, and every egg cell is connected and it's part of the tissue of the fish. But obviously, when it comes to spawning, all of those vessels that hold all together basically dissolve, and the eggs become just free running lumpy liquid. Is probably the best term. The eggs in ovarian fluid, so they just express from the vent. But if you've got sections where it's not, so when we used to use hormones donkeys years ago, what used to get a situation where they'd partially ovulate, so that some of the blood vessels would dissolve from the hormones from the fish, but not all of them. So you get some areas where the eggs are free, but other like clumps where they're still connected. And that's when you could get the issues with a blockage. Just eats turned up.
Yeah, it does.
You back, Matt?
Today, the electrics, the internet, everything has been an absolute nightmare.
All right, yeah. You're coming and going at a rate. You're frozen again. I'm going to have to fill on my own. Chuck me a microphone and I'll be off. You back?
He's back.
I don't know if he's live or not.
You're back.
I can hear.
You can hear us. We
I
can hear you. You can hear us. And that wasn't the takeaway. It was somebody else.
Boy.
Sorry. I apologise. Go on. You were saying, and
Was he frozen now?
no, I was just taking piss. That's what you did. He's frozen again, isn't he?
Yes.
There you go. He's back.
We had better connection on a mobile phone in
I know
Japan.
you were better connection when you were coming. Well, never mind. We'll catch you back up with when he comes back on. If needs be, he might need to restart his router. Jonathan did add there, mate.
I should be back.
Oh, Gaz the Magnificent Manifesto. I won't go far as to say that, mate, but Manifesto, mate. Yeah, I do believe in that. I think if you put your mind to it, you can make anything if you truly want to do it.
There you go.
I do believe that one as well. You know what they say, Gaz? If you have a job that you love, you never work another day in your life. That's a very good one. I totally agree with that. And Susan, the bit there, I'm sorry to hear that, Gaz. That really sucks. It does. But I can't turn around and honestly say that both my mum and dad haven't had a good life. And he ain't bad at the press. It ain't got, it's become a little bit forgetful. It ain't got bad. We are at that stage. But he's a sensible man. And he knows that he'll have to tell his insurance company. And once he gets his full diagnosis this month, then there's that situation. If something happens, he's compass mentis enough now to be able to think he ain't going to forgive himself, which technically he will do in time because he'll forget it anyway, but he ain't going to forgive himself this in the short term if something went wrong. So rather than doing that and being that guy, he's made the decision that, and obviously it helps me out, and that's what fathers do for their sons, isn't it? So yeah, there is a little bit of a negative, but I don't think he's going to be a next month, next year, this year kind of thing. But it's one of those things, isn't it? It's a circle of life. That's what happens. We get to that age, to a point where our bodies no longer keep up with us, and it's a shame, but it's a fact of life.
We're all getting older.
Yeah.
And we met. Some of us have birthdays.
We are, though, mate. I mean, how many times do you used to look in the mirror and then you never notice a change, and then all of a sudden you think, "Fuck me, who's that old bastard looking back at me?" You do. It's a fact of life. We all go through it.
But we still feel like we were 21.
Yeah, that's the mad bit. That's exactly what we're saying. You still feel like you were, I don't know, in your 20s, don't you? Even though you now might have to slowly step down off the kitchen worktop instead of just jump down so you don't slip a disc.
I'm in my 20s, mate. I'm still playing football 3 days a week. I'm all right. I can't move afterwards.
Well, that's the thing. I think the more you keep going, the more you keep active, the more you keep your mind active, the more you keep your body active, the better you are for it.
I don't know. After I play football and I'm laid in bed and the pain of my legs is killing me. Yeah, I won't do that again. But yeah, I always do.
But then you do, yeah. So it's not that bad because you do it again. Trevor says there, when I was younger, I used to laugh at the over 50s. Now I'm over 50, I ain't laughing anymore.
They laugh at the under 50s now. Idiots most of the day. To be fair. Not you, is it, Matt? You old git.
Hey, Matt.
I'm old. Yeah. Somebody's taking screenshots of me on off here when I freeze, and I'm like, I will get my revenge.
Will you? It's not me doing script. I don't even know how to do it. I'll end up doing it with my camera.
No, she's famous for baking cakes, Rich.
If you just whack it on, if she's doing it with the camera, if she's taking them like that one, just, if you were on a PC, you just print that F9 on the keyboard.
Waiting for me
On F9 and it normally takes a screenshot.
He's frozen again.
Well, he's doing really well in this evening. If nothing else, he's mastered the arts of sleeping lions.
Musical statues.
Yeah, musical statues, that one as well, yeah.
You're good at it.
Now then, I will touch on this until he gets back. Just for all those that might be interested, there will be a little bit of a giveaway this evening. In fact, there'll be two.
Before you give them away, when are we doing this bloody thing jig?
Well, that was the whole thing we was waiting for, because before you went, you turned around and said, hang about, I might be a little bit busy, so we just might have to reschedule it, mate. But it's still going ahead, 100%. I have two of these, I believe. So I've got two big calendars from NND, I believe. So those are going to be going up for grabs for 2025 calendars. So if anybody is interested, when I say don't type it now, but when I do say, type it in now, I want everybody just to type, don't do it now, the words I'm in, and I'll bring up a little spin the wheel thing, and I'll type everybody's name in, and then the two will do. You guys can choose whether we do a we've lost him, he's gone, dropped right off, hasn't I? When we do the spin the wheel, you guys can decide at the time whether we're going to do a first one pick and you've got it, or second pick and that's the two given away, or we do a down to two knockout.
Wow, I think you should have been saving them for this giveaway on the live. By then, I suppose the calendar's pretty much out of date.
Exactly, that's what I mean. We're going to, if it ends up, it's going to be a couple of months off of it. UK only. I'm going to say UK only because until I start getting some money coming, it's been a tight couple of months. So, I apologise, Susan, but let me see what we can do.
Can't pay your own postage.
Don't do it now. I'm in. There you go. I knew it. See, there you go. But yeah, there's the opportunity. Oh, evening. Oh, best behave now. Boss is in. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to ship over States.
Shitloads.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It won't really. Jonathan says I so need a 2025 calendar. Well, yeah. So there's two there up for grabs, and I'm pretty sure they're NND. So we'll get them. Spin the wheel off later on. So stay tuned in.
I think on one side of it, Ricky and Ryan have both got a fish in the calendar.
Have they?
Mm.
It's not too bad, Vince says. What we're talking too bad, Vince? Monday, not now. When I say. I knew there'd be loads of amins. In fact, we could do one and then give it away later on. But how do people? Hope all is well. I thought that was saying how do people? I thought it was going to be a question. Then Carlos, you nearly had me there. I've got 4 on there. He's got 4. He thinks. There you go. He's got 4.
4 on there. What? Oh, on the calendar. I showed my bot. I got one, and I said,
Oh, let's have it.
And
There you go. You can add this one to it.
All right. We've got 3 to give away then.
Matt will post to America.
I'll post abroad. Have you looked through them? I've not even looked through them.
No.
We've got the first one. Listen, I don't want to damage any of them.
Is that the same as this one? Oh no, there's another one.
Matt, you're 24.
Look at that one, guys.
Oh,
Mr.
you got Dineature.
He purposely came over and found me in the car park and said, "Mr. Howie, you take it back to the UK."
That's the Dineature one there, mate. That's Dineature's.
Yeah, but on the second page, it's like Pokemon.
Yeah, you could turn over again and you'll see that's February, which is that picture. Nice, thank you.
Are we having a calendar off?
Well, we're just going to let people just names. Look, I'm in. No, like later on when I said it'll just be 500.
Yeah, look at that right in front of your face. The Shiro. Is that not Ryan's?
Is that? Yes, it is. Yeah. Let's go to
One of Ricky's. Come on.
The one above it's Ricky Stoddart, yeah.
Look at that. Getting their face all over the camera. Well, not their face, but
You get a nice picture of a nice fish all over it. Oh, look at that.
that's my one. Look.
Not down. Oh, there again. That's Ricky's in the middle by my arm.
There we go. You got 3 to give away, 4 to give away.
3 of these to give away. So what we'll do is we'll do all. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do then. Just to add suspenders to it, because I know Matt always likes to wear them. We shall make. Come on, you can't be walking around with a wig on like that and not be into suspenders as well, mate. We'll do it as a knockout. So the last 3 remaining will be the last 3 winners. I'm not in. Sorry. Yeah, you can be now, Susan. If you win, if you are in the last 3, she'll make sure between me and Matt we'll get it sorted. I got to try and get that back in that protective sleeve and all, mate. Oh, guys.
Why don't you set time? Why don't you do that at what time? What time's it now? Like,
Well, set a time. What time do you want to do it? We'll do it. What time are we on now?
11 o'clock.
no, I'm going to bed. I've got an early start.
No, yeah, we'll not be. We'll do it. We'll do the draw. Well, I'll type. I sod it, man. Let's just start as soon as everybody's already typing.
Everyone, just say we're in now, and we do the draw at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. We'll do the draw at 9 o'clock, and I can start typing these in. So you guys as well. Someday, instead of just typing "I'm in," somebody type in another question while I type all these "I'm ins" in. Kelly's
That question I asked earlier on, Mickey, about eggbound. You probably answered it when I was offline. How many fish have you had that have gone eggbound? Kelly.
Sorry. I won't put any more on.
There's plenty more. He lives like that most nights in Japan, to be fair. Without using the horn, but before we had partial ovulations where they become egg bound, but in reality, next to none. Yeah. It's almost always a tumor in the ovarian area or whatever that just makes them look fat.
I always remember a customer a couple of years back, and it must have been about 55 cm fish. Kahaku, it was lovely fish, and you could tell it was a tumor, and it was particularly heavier on one side of the fish. And he turned up with it, and I was like, "Yeah, I would say that's a tumor." And he took it back on. It steadily got worse. Brought it back, and I said, "It's definitely a tumor. It's just getting worse and worse and worse." And I said, "The best thing I think that you can do is sedate it and end of life." And he said, "Yeah, I agree with you." So we've done it, and he said, "Oh, Matt, now we've done it, could you show me what the insides are like?" And I was like, I can remember walking up to the house to go and get the scalpel, thinking, "Oh my God, can you imagine if I do cut it open and it is just eggs?" but it wasn't. It was putrid. It was horrible. The liquid and the smell from it. You know, I get to smell some nasty things down at the farm, but the smell of it is horrible.
Didn't know where you were going then.
No, yeah.
I was quite worried.
I had to put a bit more detail in there down at the farm rather than just I get to smell lots of nasty bits.
Right, quick. Oh, damn it. That's going to be the takeaway driver. But quickly before, Ryan's also stuck in there. We'll stick a £50 voucher in the mix. And Robert, the gentleman that went to the Japan holiday with us guys as well, has also said that he will throw in a 4th calendar and post it out free of charge as well. So we've got 4 calendars to give away and a £50 voucher. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
Who's getting the £50 voucher? How are we going to...
The very last one.
Do they get a voucher and a calendar?
No. So 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4 calendars. The last remaining person, £50.
You'd be gutted if you wanted a calendar and you get a £50 voucher. I don't know. There you go. We'll get that spin going on in a minute. So you fish all right today?
Yeah. Or tickety boo. Touch wood. Yeah.
No jump.
I had one. But luckily, like I say, I've been here. I went out to see a job this morning for a couple of hours and then come back, and I've been here all day. And it must have jumped and landed on the top shelf and only just done it and flipped her back in, and she was okay. So I've made a slight change on that now, but all good. But it's amazing when, like this morning, all the drums have been going off because obviously there's so much muck, dirt and stuff over the last few weeks sat on the bottom of the pond, and they've stirred it all up. And the drums have dropped all the ponds by a couple of inches, putting in freezing cold water, and the hose pipe was frozen this morning, so that's how cold it was down there. Freezing cold water, and the fish are loving it. You know, they're darting in and out of it. And you think, you know, we worry about the cold temperatures and putting water in now of different variant. Nah, they were loving it. But it's probably a bit of a feeling like back at home, cold water coming straight in off the mountains, which ours is. So,
feeling back at home. I'm not sure that's what they're thinking. Yeah. They do, yeah, a bit of fresh water. There you go. Yeah. It's mad how they the funds I put into one pond were literally some algae and stuff in there, and they just put them in there and they were just eating like, God, this is all right. We're having some seaweed for tea tonight. But
it is weird. I said to you last night, I put them into the ponds. And as we're still doing it, the first lot, when you dump the fish in or put a fish in, that sort of reaction of the fish coming up to the surface, they were all coming up then thinking it was feed time. And you think, you know, they've been in a bag for the last probably 36 hours. And within 5 minutes of being into a tank, they're up and feeding.
The conditions for it, isn't it? It's just conditioning, which is the same when you talk about getting fish ready for a show. It's the more you get them exposed to something, the less of a stress or an issue it is. So, they're just so used to that being in an environment with lots of other fish. One moves, they all move. Bit of food goes in, they all go. Yeah, it's just instinct almost. But that instinct's great, isn't it? It settles them down quicker, and damn sight happening, them all cowering in the corner, all trying to jump out.
Paul said, did you see his Yamabuki?
Well, I did, yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah, it's just it does stand out from the others. I'll give them that.
Yeah, it is sweet.
Yeah, all good. Hopefully, touch wood. Step one done, isn't it? They're backing in ponds. So yeah. Can't wait. Shop was busy today as well, considering we're not open. Don't know what happened there.
Let's get this spin the wheel going.
First day I've been back in the shop, and considering we don't open till tomorrow, we were busy all day. I think people were trying to get in before we open to see if we've got any new stuff in when we open.
There we go. Random name picker. Let's get all those removed.
So we're saying, Gaz, the 50 quid voucher, like, is that the booby prize or the top prize? How are we doing this? Matt said that it should be the last name out, but imagine if you want to
crap, yeah.
win a 50 quid voucher. Or do you win?
We'll have to make the 50 quid voucher be for the last person then. So we'll do the 4 calendars. So the last 5 people in, before the last one's drawn out, will be the calendar winners, and the 5th one, or the first out of the 5, the last person standing, so I don't get it wrong, last person standing will be the £50 voucher then for exclusively Koi.
But why else do you want the calendar, as Ricky said?
Too late. They have to buy one. Got 50 quid.
Yeah. Oh, number 2 then. 50 quid.
I've got 600 I'm-ins to type in here now. My God, there's a lot as well.
Is there not some secret shortcut? You're a computer genius. Can it not just do itself?
No, unfortunately not.
Ah, mate.
What?
Thought we would do it. What have you got anyway? Chinese pizza?
She's got an Indian.
Oh, and you're sat here doing this, and she's eating an Indian.
I got to. I have no more calendars. Gaz robbed them all. Not at all. Oh my God! And Crafty says I'll do a 50 quid voucher. Shit, man. Right, this is getting confusing now. Then, so the top two from the 6 get a 50 quid voucher, and 4 runner-ups get a calendar. Yeah, is that fair? Does everybody reckon that's fair enough?
So if I put my name in twice and win both star prizes, I get 50 quid from Crafty and 50 quid from Ryan.
Oh my God, I've so many people to write down here now. I'm in.
Have you not got admin behind doing all this?
No, I haven't, mate. This is why you guys both now need to just keep topics of conversation and chat going while I do a lot of typing.
I'm busy. Look at that.
I'm busy.
Oh,
You got sticky ribs or something?
yeah. Full rack of ribs, 3 of them.
3 racks of ribs.
I've been chewing on them since about an hour and a half now.
Are you sharing any with Pam, or is she like on a lettuce sandwich?
No, what did you have? Pizza.
Sounds healthy in that household.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be healthy.
What, you giving that to Nala? Honestly, mate, we went to a barbecue. You know, you cook your own barbecue things. I have never seen like it. I was starved to death. Every time I put a bit on, turn around, he'd eating it. He ate his, he ate everyone else's. Like a kilo of meat gone. It's like, oh, Ryan, can you order some more? I haven't had any yet.
It's the advantage of like having your meat rare because everybody else is waiting for theirs to be cooked, and whilst they're busy talking, you just help yourself and eat it.
Right, let me just go back. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just wanting to go back and make sure that we get the first I'm in, which was Mandy.
I think Seska was first in with I don't want to play, but I'm in.
She was, wasn't she? You're right. I'll make sure that Seska's in as well. Don't want to play, but she's definitely in. And no, I don't have anybody that would be good enough to type all this out for me. So, although this is going to be a bit of a bummer for everybody to wait for.
Did you say you haven't got anybody good enough to sort this out for you?
Good enough, no.
Did you just say that, Gaz?
Anybody good enough to sort this out for me? I don't mean it in that sense, but shit. See, told you. I told you you got myself in trouble just for.
Is Aaron still away then?
He is still away, yeah, I believe so. I think he's gone for a fair few weeks.
Is he back in Thailand?
Yeah.
Once bitten, isn't it? He went last year first time, and that's it. He's moving out there now. Can't believe Matt's on the sticky ribs.
She wants to help.
Give her the salad. Yeah, so road trip with Vince tomorrow, I think. I'll be right when it early doors.
Yeah, damn right. Susan, you are in. Rocky boy.
Dave's after a calendar as well.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? He's been doing all right. He's won the last 2 matches he's been on, eh? Rocket Boy, the fish man.
Crafty says his voucher's only for live fish or £100 for stock hardware. We just say it's for fish only, though.
You just say it's for fish only. Yeah.
Fish only, yeah.
Right, we're down to Dave Thompson. We've got Susan in. We've got Darren Holland next.
There could be more giveaways tonight than when we do this 24-hour live.
Well,
What's happening with that?
Well, we were discussing that earlier.
we're going to make it so it's the case of doing it when it suits everybody, because obviously everybody needs to be involved.
We want lots of fish to be given away, don't we? Or given away, auctioned, or
Yes.
I think if we're doing 24 hours, we should have 1 fish every hour being auctioned, shouldn't we? With our contacts in the industry, I'm sure we could manage that.
You reckon? I'm sure we that's the kind of stuff of what we're going to be doing in the evening and on the night. A stuff that we really need to be discussing together as a group. You don't want to commit to anything that might not necessarily happen. Dear fish owners, I'm only an employee. I don't own them any of them.
So much, it's fine.
So I can't. That's it. So
Hold on, you, man. Yeah, we'll get it to work somehow.
Yeah, we'll sort it. We'll just get the day right, Dr. Kempo. That's where we're at. So if anybody has any idea just how many I've done.
You still got loads to go.
I know.
Everyone's after a bargain. A calendar, mate. These calendars are worth more than 50 quid. I think this top price should be the calendars.
How much is one of them calendars? No way, they're not 50 quid. Sure as you can't. Are they?
Somebody said the other day, where was it, Rick, that we ought to do a calendar with the Gaz's men on it? No, it wasn't. Somebody was talking about it.
What, in our waders with no tops on?
No, naked, holding a fish in front of us.
If that's what you want, mate. To be fair, I think my legs a bit.
We can't all get away with a chibinisai, mate. Crafty's in on his own giveaway.
His name.
I mean,
He wants a calendar. He didn't get one.
he gave shitloads of away over it. I'm sure he did.
Priceless.
Marcus.
Right. I'm in trouble. I'll be back.
Where have you got to, Gaz?
Hello?
Kelly.
You can take her off.
Rob. Oh. Sorry, guys, this is not a very entertaining show, is it, when I'm just sat here typing out? But Matt's really good at demonstrating how nice his ribs are.
You can always ask me a question.
How nice are your ribs, Matt? Anybody got any questions? Somebody did actually post in there earlier on, mate, that they received their pond liner from you and it fit a treat.
As they always do. I tell you what,
I can tell to measure it up for you, like.
I can tell where the I can tell where we are with the seasons by the amount of inquiries I get on the pond liners. It's literally this week has been easily 10 a day. The pond liners, not orders, but inquiries over pricing. They're building the ponds. And hopefully, with this sun that we're going to get for the next couple of weeks, everything's going to kick off, and then we'll be into Easter. And then we know
Right.
what happens.
Rob Foxett. We've got Rob Fox. Mark 789, Jeff Harfield. Fanfret. Oh shit, just typed all them out. Last one's out in capital letters. It's just like I'm shouting Jeff Harfield. It's a good job of keyboards, man, didn't it? This is doing a right shit show.
You have got miles to go yet.
Oh, really?
Well, I can't even see Jeff, and I've scrolled back. Where are you taking these names from?
Fanfret Steve. Then we've got a David. All right, it's the last one with David Thompson, so that's all right. We just have one with a David. Where am I taking them all from? All the lists of people that typed I'm in.
There's a question there for me from David Stillman. Reference, do I do fiberglassing? Most definitely I don't. But I will say that I went to a job today that they had it fiberglassed 3 years ago by a professional. And literally this pond is 7 meters by 3 meters, kidney shaped, and every bit of fiberglass has come away from the walls. And personally, I know everybody always says fiberglass, fiberglass, fiberglass. If you do have a mishap, you are stuffed. There's no coming back from it. And let's ask the question of why does so many people have to have their ponds fiberglass? What's the benefits of fiberglass over a liner, box liner?
Simon Shears, you ass in Hull. Don't put your name in twice, man.
Why would you say fiberglass, Rick?
Stronger. Should be longer living. Done properly, yeah.
Longevity, you mean?
Yeah. Long living or long
living.
But yeah, it's one of those done properly. It should be better, but done poorly, it's bad, isn't it?
The problem is with fiberglass, it has so many factors to take into account: temperatures, humidity, dampness of the walls.
Dave Thompson.
That's when you get if someone that knows what they're doing does it, it should be fine, isn't it? It's when you try and do it yourself and get it wrong, or don't have all the facts, or yeah, it's
So the one I looked at today was done by, and it is a professional, somebody that does it not so much. Well, they do ponds, but it's mainly for another fiberglassing model. They should understand the fiberglassing process. And when you have a look at this pond, honestly, all the way around the whole of the pond, why it's done it, God only knows, but it's actually pulled away from the wall probably 3 to 4 mil. And when you're pushing the fiberglass, or the water comes out between the rocks and the fiberglass, or side the blocks and the fiberglass, you're never going to get that with a line, are you?
well, this has got a hole in it. I don't know if you shouldn't do,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, the liners are much easier. Well, it should be a cheaper, easier option, but yeah, difficult. I say, the ponds I've seen that have done properly literally last forever. That's not an issue, isn't it? But I think a lot of people either do it themselves or get someone that does fiberglass and boat building or for other aspects and do a pond, and it's different.
Yeah.
It's a different scenario, but yeah, there's pros and cons for everything, isn't there? I think do your research and do what you want. I don't know. We don't use much fiberglass. The fiberglass we got in some of the tanks that are made from it are phenomenal, but it's done to such a level that you would never do that in your normal pond.
Yeah.
The cheapest stuff we've seen around that isn't great. So I don't know. There is an answer. I think if your block work's done right and your fiberglass done right, it's a pond that will live forever. We outlive you, wouldn't it? But so will a good box weld liner in it. But I think the problem is when you start going funny shaped ponds and
Definitely.
the concrete isn't. Obviously, the concrete moves, the ground moves, the concrete cracks, fiberglass cracks.
Pond liner gives.
Yeah, everything's got weak spots, isn't it? If the structure's not right or the where it's put's not right, you can go. Are you still typing, Gaz?
I'm just checking now. But people are typing the names and putting them in twice, which is taking the piss. If you put your name in twice, I'll just remove you and you'll not be in it at all.
You're just making sure they're in it.
Yeah, but I know they're in. I'm going down for a list. But I've got Steelman David that's put his name in, and Simon Shears that's put in 3 times. I'd love to be able to put you all in and keep going and going. Right, down about. We've got one there. Now then, there is another reason behind this as well. All you guys that are doing this, I'm going to run a quick test and to see if any or all of you are subscribers. If none of you come up in subscribers list, all those will be removed.
Yay!
Oh, shouldn't it? I thought you were going to get their phone number and email addresses.
There you go. It's not even possible to do.
And if they don't like,
no,
thumbs up for tonight.
It's free. It's free to enter. It's a free prize if you get in. You've got a 1 in about 4,000 chance of winning. There's that many people typed in. But no, we really appreciate it if any of you could do us a huge favor and just give the channel a little bit of a lift. I'm now aiming for my new target, which is 3,000. Hopefully, I hope to get there by the end of this year. So, fingers crossed. Simon Shee's done it again. The Grumpy Coy, that's a new one.
Grumpy Coy.
That's Simon Shears' other name.
Shit.
He's making up names as quick as he can, setting up accounts.
I should have called my channel that. Amanda Smith.
Come on, there's only 6 minutes left. 4 minutes left.
I'm not doing bad. I'm getting there. So we got, right, Tony, you've done it again. That's you out.
And he's got far more. Is it Tony far more coin?
There you go. Not a knockout. There's over 50. I don't think we can. I don't think it'll take forever, won't it? Richard, right. So that one's there. Tony's Richard Webb.
How can you have more names than we got people watching? How's that possible? With some glitching anagrams going on here.
Sorry, mate. I heard a beat. 100% sure if I were imagining things. How you doing? Richard Webb. And after Richard Webb, we've got Deborah.
Crafty, you out dogging again?
Yeah, mate.
You want to put the light on, mate? No one
Oh,
see you.
Sky. That's a new one. I haven't seen that name in there before. Thanks for joining us.
Crafty's just sat in the dark in the car park somewhere. What are you doing, mate?
Aaron Moon.
Mate, I've come to get my daughter from London, mate. That's why I'm not on.
And she's not there.
Oh, mate, you have to share your location stuff so your kids know where you are.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't share it with us.
No, I wouldn't do that. And yeah, I'll still have to ring her up to say I'm here. Mate.
Oh, it would be so funny, Crafty, if we heard on your window, sorry, sir, can you move along?
There's a good chance that'll happen. I'm parked in a no parking zone as well.
Looking right dodgy. Sat in the dark on your phone.
It's always dodgy here, mate. It's London, isn't it?
George. That's another one.
God, it's nearly 9 o'clock, man. 2 minutes.
We're getting
You've got to go, Rick.
No, he's got to do the spin the wheel at 9 o'clock. You got to have a cut off, otherwise it's going to go on forever.
Well, it's 9 o'clock now, Rick.
That was it.
Oh,
Now your phone's fast, mate. All of mine are saying 2 minutes yet.
What have you been up to, Crafty?
Unboxing fish.
Same as you.
It's gone. He just shut you off.
Rude. Same as you. Bye.
You've gone dark there, Crafty.
Mandy B. That's a good song. It's called Sandy B. But similar.
It's not a good song then, is it?
Koi Fry Scotland.
I think Crafty's been arrested. Do you think the 14 come out?
Alan T. Oh, bollocks.
You have got miles to go, guys. Honestly, I was just scrolling back through to see Alan T. And,
Seriously?
Yeah.
There's some glitch. Another 28 names yet.
There is. I was about to say there's about 25 more.
We've done Marco Tognira's last one we've got in there.
Keep typing.
Have we already got Rick Howard, Finn? No, that was Rick Webb.
Does this mean you're going to send them new software to every single person?
This
Go on,
has got to be-
keep typing. What's been your highlight of working at Stoddard's Hall of Ponds? You need to be given a name, doesn't it? You've got to give that facility a name.
Honestly, the highlight so far has been the seeing the shipment coming and all the fish that I didn't see, because there's some really nice fish, man. Some really nice fish coming, and getting to see my own fish coming, which I'm going to sneak and hide somewhere. Shh, don't tell him because he won't be watching. I'm going to sneak it and hide it and grow it on somewhere. When he gets his next set of grown fish, slip it in and nobody will know. Leave it there till he gets massive.
They've let him go.
But yeah, so far, mate. So far would be the new
Blacked
import.
them, didn't I? Fucking blacked them, mate.
Oh,
I put my earbuds in.
Dude, the Daleks are turned.
you got a Dalek. Exterminate.
Yeah, I put my earbuds in now, hopefully. Mate, it's 5G. It should be the Dalek, shouldn't it?
It should be, mate, but it doesn't sound good.
That's better.
It's you, Crafty.
Hey, you're definitely getting a bit of feedback, mate. Right, Carl Dev.
Is that any better?
You're fizzing.
I'm getting feedback.
Gaz will be able to sort
I'm
out in a minute.
catfishing.
As Gaz is doing this, for the ones that have just joined, he's taking names of people
Is he?
that would like to stand a free entry to 2 lots of £50 for live fish, one from Crafty and one from Ryan. And I think
I'm in. You know,
there's £3 So all the ones that said good evening, everybody, if you want to just put I'm in, you'll see Gaz type your name in.
And if you put it in twice, you can win
I
2.
will quickly run through these and make sure. 128 people in, Gaz. Oh my God.
That can't be right. You don't get that many viewers. How's this work?
132 watching we've got.
Hang on, I'm in.
Just do us a huge favour, guys. If you, Gaz, I thought somebody would take it P there because that said Gaz, I'm in. I thought, how would somebody type me? I'm in, but that's Gaz 0 now.
There you go. You got Pinky. Pinky, they're in.
Pinky's in. Hasn't got a pond, but they're in. That'll do.
Oh, and Paul and Pink. That sounds like it's a crossover there. Pinky and Paul and Pink.
That's better, Crafty. You've turned something down.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, it doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good when you talk. Technology, mate.
What about now?
Better, yeah.
Good now, it's stopped.
Wherever those earbuds are, they don't work.
We've got Paul and Pinky in, so which will be Paul, and we've got Pinky, which will be Pinky.
Oh, that's 2 from the same household. Surely that's the.
Well, there's more than one person that's done it, but at the end of the day, if you subscribed along, I don't care. That's it's about giving a little bit of something back. Edward Naylor.
Hooray.
Well, then, Crafty, what were the best fish you got yesterday? We all got Everyone got a shipment yesterday.
Yeah.
That's quite unique, isn't it?
Ryan
spreading.
I were banging.
Right. Is that it? We're there, Rick. We're 4 minutes overdue. That's it. No more entries.
Where was your last one, Gaz?
My last one should have been Edward Naylor as the last one.
Matt's got loads more.
Oh, thanks.
There's more after that, guys.
Is that the policeman delivering an envelope?
The last comment in is from Steelman David.
No, so I've got Paul and Pink, Alison's toy.
Open it now.
Pinky.
Yeah, but Edward Naylor's above that. I've already got Pinky, I'm in. And I'm in on Paul and Pinky Allison.
Is it your birthday, Crafty?
It was in the week, mate, on Thursday, I think it was.
Right.
How old are you? 28?
Yep. 18.
It was 3 days ago, so it wasn't Thursday.
What day was it?
Is that your hands-free kit in your car?
It was Tuesday.
Or just your phone?
His daughter.
It's hands-free.
Have you got your phone in your smuggler's pocket again?
It's on the dash.
Something's fizzing like a good one.
Oh, hang on a minute. I bet it's my hair. Is that better?
No.
Right. I'm going to go down through all these.
No,
And if I've
we
missed
can't go
anybody,
through that.
this is going to be a last chance to get them in, right? We've got Mandy, Seska, Coyboy, Steelman, Julian, Jonathan, Lee Taylor, Susan, Rocket Boy, Michael Thompson, David Thompson, Darren Holland, Anthony Morris, Fry, Stephen, Gravedigger, Doc, McCoy Couple, Vince, Simon Shears, Marcus and Cody's, Kelly Nobbs, Rob Howard, Brian Glover, George Murdoch, Peter, Carlos McChee, Rob Fox, Lorraine, Mark, Jeff Harfield, Fanfret Steve, David Mark, Tia Hart, Ian, Steve Scoy, Charlotte, Peter, Kazuka Coy, Tina Williams, JH Edits, Sally Harfield, Richard Bradbury, Oscar Newell, Leanne Bull, Perry Williams, Jeff Lees, Trevor Halford, Edward Naylor. I think you're in twice.
Yes, we can't hear you. We can see your mouth moving, but we can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear him.
Oh, Mike, you're an ass, man. You're on form tonight, aren't you? Hey, I think Edward Neil is in
Getting you
twice.
back.
Double check. Neil RP24, The Grumpy Coy, Amanda Smith, Richard Webb, Deborah King, Force Coy, Aaron Mooney, Autistic Koi Keeper, Brand Family Koi, Georgina, Darren, Mandy B, Koi Fry Scotland, Alan T, Beth Hazel, Marco, Rick, Carl, Family Cat Fishing, Dale, Carl, Gaza09, top name, Paul and Pinky, Edward Neil, you are in twice. There we go. Right. So how we're going to do it, the first 4 drawn will be the 4 calendars. The next 2 after that will be the 250 quid vouchers. So all those that do win and all those that come out on the draw, make sure you drop me a message or an email at gazzaskoypond1@virginmedia.com. If you have got me on any other form on the Facebook group or part of the Facebook group, drop me a private message on there and we'll get your address sorted out, transferred over, and we'll get them all posted out to you.
Guys, you got Luke saying that he's got his name in, but you missed him. Luke Mead.
Luke Mead.
Yeah.
Not very colourful, Gaz. Why is there not many colours in it?
It's the colours of my logo.
One more, guys. Leaf Davies.
That's all right, Luke. I didn't put it because.
And you two can thank me afterwards for doing this, which I left you out.
And what was the other one?
Leaf Davies. Oh,
Georgina, you're in.
Matt, why haven't you given a fish voucher?
Yeah,
Oh,
why don't you give them?
Oh,
Did you
Georgina David. Sorry, we've got Georgina David, the Georgina Towers. Sorry, right, we've got Georgina as well.
I think you should put one in as well, Matt.
Crafty's been on the helium. He sounds like he's on the. Hello, Crafty, what you doing?
Luckily, I can't understand a word he's saying.
And we've got Leaf in as well.
Georgina Towers. You got that one. That's it. Nobody else has complained. You're good to go.
Right, so we've got the whole family of Daves. So all the family best be subscribed along there for the chance at. Go on, Crafty.
We done? We in?
Right. So again, the first 4 draws will be for the calendars. The 2 after that will be for the £50 vouchers.
You sure? No more advances.
Any more for any more?
You
Calendar
definitely,
number 1.
Gaz, you need some red in your logo, mate.
Georgina says, Gaz, it's Towers.
Eh? Where?
You got Georgina Davies.
And you got Georgina David. Oh, mate.
Oh, damn it, mate. Sorry.
They're going to have to share a calendar. Each one of them can get 6 months.
Edited. Georgina. Changed it. Already.
Good school.
Any more for any more?
So what calendar's going first? A good
Too
one?
late. That's it. It's done. Calendar number 1 from Howie Coy.
Ooh.
Cool. I could have got
Shit.
There we go. Rob Howard, you have won a calendar, mate. Congratulations. We need to remove you. Boosh. Right. Calendar number 2 from Rob.
It's making good sound effects for the thing, isn't it? Is that just my computer?
perfect. Oh, oh.
Rick Howard.
It's the same
Congratulations.
person, isn't it? What's going on here?
Was it?
Oh no, it's Rob. Oh,
No.
God.
It was Bob Howard, wasn't it? They must be brothers.
No, was that right? It's not the same name twice.
No, it's not. It's a different first name.
Thank God. If that means you've both got 2 calendars in the same household. Calendar number 3, sent from me, and the number 4 will be sent from me. There you go. Congratulations, Darren.
Who's that Georgina David? Is that meant to be Davis?
Oh, come on,
We'll get it.
And the last one will be from me.
Last calendar. Come on.
Oh, one I had to send to Scotland. Koi Fry Scotland. There you go. I'll remove you.
Hey,
Right.
there you
The
go.
next two, Crafty, just keep an eye. Remember this name as well, mate. We're going. Next one will be from Crafty. Next one will be a gift voucher from Crafty, exclusively Koi. Sorry, perfect. Right. Sorry, mate. My bad.
You get bang for your buck at Perfect Aquatics. Who's
Will
got it?
be
Pass on
Carl.
the line.
There we go.
Hi, can I have a quarter pounder of cheese large meal, please?
And the last final one
I'll
from
have a double bacon cheeseburger as well.
Ryan, Kev. I'm not going to say me because I'm
Can you
exclusively
mute him
Koi.
for a minute? I'm getting hungry.
Large, please. I want a large meal, yeah?
So I'll just mute Crafty while he places his order. And the last one, which will be from exclusively Koi.
Hang on. Whoa. Who? Oh. Right.
Get me an apple pie, Crafty. Neil RP24. There you go. There are all the 6 winners of this giveaway.
Can I make a suggestion?
You want to add another one?
No, as Rick hasn't given anything, you can opt out if you wish. Have a dinner date with Rick.
A dinner date with Rick. Who wants to be
True.
on this one?
We'll give you
For all
Like karaoke night.
for all those that's not interested, type I'm out.
I think you need to see a video first before you start saying stuff like this. You got to let people know what they're in for. I think what you should do is on the 24-hour live, we can invite a guest to spend 24 hours with me.
Dave says I'm out. There we go. Edward Naylor says yes. Edward's in. Rerun. It's fixed. Oh, God.
Be fixed. Right.
There we go. That's the giveaway done.
Crafty, we
All
muted
those
you.
people can do me a huge favor. Contact me. Drop me a message. Drop me an email, whether it be email or if you've got us on Facebook or if you've got me in any of them or whatever. Carl Dev says I'm out. It's not selling well, Rick. It's not selling well.
Lorraine's in.
Of course, Lorraine.
I'm in. Big grin. It would be a right laugh. It really would. But yeah, drop us a message, guys, for all the people that won. Then I can get all the corresponding information to those that need it. And thank you very much for joining us. All right then.
Are you unmuted Crafty now?
He's unmuted himself. He muted himself. So that was that. We're going to get to watch him chew his knuckles now while he rams a cheeseburger down his neck.
Mate, my belly thinks my throat's been cut, mate, I tell you.
Get over, man. Your belly could take weeks before that kicked in.
Fucking starving, mate.
So, all that stuff, mate, you've just ordered, is any for your daughter? Is that just yours?
No, that was just his order,
That's
that.
right.
Shocking.
Not shocking. Reality.
I'm just double checking to make sure that if we did get any questions from tonight on the right then, I've got one. Let's have a topic of conversation. What kind of temperature fluctuations can koi handle, and what do they normally experience in an environment such as yours, Rick? Through the winter months, summer months, what are the fluctuations that a koi can safely handle without it being an issue? As in, how many degrees between them? Because I've heard you say in the past before that you can get fluctuations in the warmer summer months in the shallows, and the fry will be up there feeding around on there in crazy and like 28 to 30 degrees, and then dropping down to, whatever temperature at the bottom of the pond, moving and swimming around. But a lot of people seem to think that there's an unsafe level for koi to be dropping too fast, too rapid. But when the
There
fish
is,
needs to get away and swim, they need to get away and swim.
it is a strange one in their natural environment. So imagine you've got a pond with little fish in, and you've got blanket weed or whatever around the edge, and the surface could be 33, 34 degrees in the sun, and probably warm that when they're sat directly in the sun as well. And yet, if a predator flies past or a bird goes by, something spooks them, they'll bolt down to 20-degree water.
Yeah. So
And they'll do that repeatedly. They'll do that repeatedly through the day, through kind of choice or whatever. But I'm not saying you recommend it, because at the end of the day, if you've got a fish sat at 24 degrees quite happily, and then you move it into a 10-degree tank, it's going to hit the floor. It's going to hate it. So I think that the reality is, in a natural environment where they choose to migrate from, they choose to be in the warm most of the time, but they will migrate to the cooler areas when they're under threat. That natural stress and whatever is just part and parcel. And they'll move back to the warmer areas, given the choice, given it's safe.
But it's a bit like it's a bit like I was saying earlier on, Ricky, when I was putting cold water into the pond this morning. The ponds were all at 18 degrees, and the water that was going in there must have been 6 degrees. And where all those toci playing in the cold water. Yes, they're jumping in and jumping out, but it's no different to a lake, is it? Where if they go into a cold environment or cold area that they don't particularly want to stay in, they'll just come out of it and go up into the warmer climate.
Yeah, I think.
But how long do you think a fish will comfortably avoid a predator before they're back there?
Well, that's the problem. They don't perhaps long enough, because they quite often get eaten, don't they? They'll go back up too early. I think scientifically, from when we're doing all the college work and whatever, it takes apparently it takes 24 hours for a koi to acclimatise properly half a degree. But in reality, they put themselves all over the place. Here comes Big Mac Rustler, the Hamburglar. Talking about us or a wimpy the other day. I didn't know they even existed anymore.
Yeah, where was that to?
We're all shut down.
Basingstoke, there was a wimpy, mate. Like,
Was I with you?
I don't think so. I was in Basingstoke.
No, well, I saw a wimpy as well, and I said the same this week. I haven't seen a wimpy. I thought they were all gone.
Chip.
It was in
Maybe
Swanage.
you're talking me.
No, it's in Swanage.
They're not all gone then. They're still there. So
Right,
I think the whole temperature thing's a strange one.
Well, there's a couple of brought up a couple more questions to it alongside of it, then, so you can myth bust some of these. Steelman David says, can you acclimatize koi to tropical levels?
Well, yeah, tropical's what, 27 to 28 degrees, isn't it?
28 degrees. Yeah, I mean, I've had them at tropical levels. Yes, mate.
So, yeah. And the mad thing is, we had DEFRA around. We get checked by DEFRA twice a year, and they come in and they went into one of our polytunnels and they took a temperature, and they're like, oh, water temperature 33 degrees. Koi should be dead. And I was like, it should be, but look at them. And they're like a swarm of them, absolutely loving life. And it's the temperature's only relevant to the oxygen levels, to the amount of food they've got. So it's not as simple as, oh, at 33 degrees a koi will die. Well, no, it won't. If the oxygen level's fine, the oxygen's a problem at 33 degrees. But yeah, you can't. They will live in lots of environments. They don't like massive change, especially when you do it. I think when they can put themselves where they want to be, they're quite happy. But if you take fish from 20 degrees and put them in a 10-degree tank, and that there is no option but this whole tank's 10 degrees, they particularly don't like it. And the same upwards. If you take fish at 4 or 5 degrees and put them up too far, too quick, you'll have a problem. So it's acclimatizing them to a point, but giving them a water body. Most people's ponds, the water's always the same temperature, top to bottom, whatever. But in natural lakes or natural mud ponds, you can have massive differences through the water body that they can choose to be where they want to be. The oxygen level might be better over here. The temperature might be better over there. You know, pollution levels over that corner of the lake might be worse. Anyone that does carp fishing knows that you have a shallow, crappy corner that's pretty toxic and horrible, but at certain times they'll go in there and dig around there for
and
food.
grub around in it, don't they?
And another day they'll all be sat in the hottest part on top of some weed in the sun, baking themselves stupid. They're choosing their environment to be in, whether it's the best for them or not. I don't know. They choose, don't they? Do we always choose the best environment? I don't know.
So if you was, let's say, for example, if you were going to ideally bring a fish down in temperature or up in temperature, what would be the safe boundary to go at?
To be fair,
degree
a day is sensible if you can do that. But even like our tunnels and whatever, they're changing. So today we had 34-degree air temperature, water temperature rising rapidly. So we're probably at 18 degrees at the warmest point today. We're going to have a frost tonight. They will drop 5-6 degrees tonight.
Yeah, I want to say mine at weekend. Yesterday night we had -3 this morning when I got up, and -2 the day before. And my pond throughout the day were over 10 degrees. And 2 days prior to that was like 11, nearly 12 degrees because it was really warm. Fish were really, really active. And then dropping back down to 2 degrees again. That's nearly a 9-10 degree change in a matter of less than 24 hours. And they're all out there fine.
They are, but they're surviving.
I know they're not loving life, but they're not loving life. I get that, but they're alive, functioning, and healthy.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you had a 70 centimeter high-end shower out there, it might not be functioning quite as well.
Different fish can tolerate different amounts as well, isn't there? There is that to it, isn't there? Gosankis don't tend to like it as well. The shower don't really like massive drops and fluctuations.
I don't think any of them do, but a normal carp will tolerate it a lot better. And then every step of not evolution, but the whole process we've done to create prettier fish is made them weaker. That's just standard, isn't it? So your higher end, serious, high quality fish that have been so specifically bred to be high end, high quality fish, are not going to like being 10-degree temperature swings and all the rest of it. That's just, there will be more compromise.
For you, Rick, your fish must experience it over there. If you get like in when we come into spring, you've got fish out there in mud ponds, and you can get fish that are out there in mud ponds that might be getting 12, 15 degrees. And we might still get a nip where water temperatures will be dropping down to 2 and 3 degrees. When you get that's a big drop for them overnight. Air temps rise and fall, and water temperatures rise and fall with it. But it seems to do it a lot through spring months.
You do. We don't have much out in the spring, to be fair. And mud ponds don't fluctuate anywhere. The bigger the body of water, the less they fluctuate.
Right.
So you know, like one of the big
slower to rise, but slower to cool.
It takes a long time to drop or a long time to warm up, so they're much more stable. But even saying that, you'll have bigger differences in areas of the pond. So when the sun's out and strong, up in the shallows where the sun is, they can go up and warm themselves, and they will. That's exactly where they'll go and warm themselves up for a period. Even though when it turns cold, they'll go back down into the cold. They'll choose to have a period of being warmer and then colder rather than staying at the same temperature. They're choosing that. That's what they want to do. They're probably preferably warmer all the time, but in that environment, you can have 6 hours of strong sunlight in one area in a shallow bit of water, and that will warm up, and every fish will be there if it can without being eaten or scared away.
Yeah,
that's what we choose to be.
It's a bit like us, isn't it? It is a bit like us, though, isn't it? You know, we go to the beach and we bake ourselves in the sun. When we get too hot, we go and get in the water and cool off.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, Matt, we sit in his house at 24, 25 degrees with a central heating on, and we put a jacket on and we walk outside and it's -4. We ain't dead, though, are long-term exposure to it. Yeah,
It's different. Our body temperature doesn't even whatever we do. Our body temperature is 37 degrees or whatever. That doesn't change really.
I can guarantee you, mine weren't in Japan when I was in that pool, mate.
Yeah.
That weren't true. That was cold, mate.
Those little koi, their body temperature is basically what the water is. So they'll go a couple of hours at
they warm to their environment.
Yeah, and they'll warm a bit and they'll go down and they'll cool a bit. It's stressful, but if they're doing it regular, it's probably no more stressful than everything else in life. And it's the same scenario. If a fish has spent 6 years at 24 degrees and had no variation, the day you move that fish and put it in,
you move that fish, you're going to have a hell of a So, like as you've said it before, it's colder up here, mate, and my fish seem pretty all right with it. And you've said that's because they've experienced it. I guess it's back to the same thing, isn't it? It's stable, although it's not red hot, but stability in it. It's mine are used to being cold because they're in a colder environment than most other people's ponds, as opposed to as a fish that's been in a warmer pond is used to being in that stability. You make that massive change, and it causes negative effects.
Yeah, I think you see it at the shows quite a lot, don't you? Those hobbyists that have their ponds at if you're going to spend a lot of money on a fish, you're going to want the fish in the best environment you can give it to get the best out of that fish. So that fish might spend 10 months of the year at 24 degrees, a couple of months a bit colder, but it's very, very stable. And then it gets to 5 years old. This is brilliant. Now we're going to take it to the show. And then it's suddenly experiencing much greater fluctuations in temperature and environment and will react to that and get stressed by it. Whereas someone else's fish that's used to big fluctuations and has done since it was little, it's just, well, this is normal.
Yeah.
Just ran it, okay, it's dropped 5 degrees tonight. Standard, isn't it? It's not bothered. It's one of those things. It's partially maybe to do with the quality of fish, but it's more to do with the environment, the long-term environment they've been kept in. How that stress. You've only got to see the Japanese fish, the difference. They put them in those cages and they just sit there quite happily looking for food. Oh, I'll put in a bowl and put in a cage. They're not bothered. Like as Matt said, they've been shit for 36 hours. You put them in the pond, they turn around, have got any food for me?
Yeah.
If you put them in a cage, they spend 24 hours throwing themselves out of the cage or against the wall or whatever, thinking, what the fuck's going on here? And it's because years ago, when we used to just literally put them out in ponds, grow and bring them back to the shop, they used to go in tanks.
Tank all over the place.
Yeah, it's so stressed, and it would take months for them to properly settle down and become tame. Yet, as we've progressed as a farm and have more and more facilities where they come indoors to get used to people, that they're much more like what you see in Japan when they have no predators. So you go to a pond, they come to see you. You put them in a bowl, not that bothered. Quite often they'll even try and eat food in a bowl or whatever.
Yeah, not like, for example, if you've got like when you're going around with quad, riding around at feeding time, they respond to that noise, don't they? Whereas if you took that quad around a normal natural riverbank, the fish would shit themselves and dart away from that, wouldn't they? Whereas in your environment, they're used to it and associate that with the next meal.
So it's association learn, isn't it? This doesn't hurt me. Well, that's fine. And actually, coming to that noise, I get fed. My environment's better by doing this. And yeah, it's all learned behavior. And the earlier they kind of almost learn that, so we get it in the hatchery. If they stay in the hatchery quite a while, we put in the fish at 4 weeks old to start chasing you up the pond. That's learned behavior within a matter of weeks of being born, that this big shadow pouring stuff in the pond is actually food coming. And it just gets progressed from there. Whereas in a natural environment, that big shadow is something that's going to eat them. And that's the end of them.
I've seen it while I've been down there, being at work. Like you walk up to bowls of fish or vats full of fish and they whoosh straight up straight away. But if you stand there to have a look to admire them, the minute they realise there ain't no food coming in, wham, they're all gone, right back down to the bottom again, out of the way. You walk away, come back again. Even if it's only like 15 seconds later, they're back straight back up, assuming that they're going to get fed again.
But that's just learnt so you can train them. At the end of the day, you stand there. When they go away, chuck a little bit of food and they'll come back.
Yeah.
And after they get tamer and tamer and tamer, they don't have to hang about.
Yeah.
But in reality, if you do that and then put them out into a mud pond where you've got predators,
Yeah, you bring that natural.
yeah.
There we go. That brought up a couple. There was one other thing that we put in there as well. Dave put in there. Is it true temp swings can cause white spot?
No. The temp swings can cause stress, which will bring out white spot if it's there already. You can't cause a parasite to manifest. It's got to be there. And it's so any stress will encourage any parasite to get the upper hand in it. Stress just basically means their immune system is going to be suppressed. So be it white spot, be it flukes, be it whatever. I think a lot of people, fish often live with white spot and it just sits undetected at very low levels. And then when you stress them, boom, suddenly it's a very obvious one that will come out. But so will carp pox. You've seen that come out. Move fish, stress them during the colder months. That'll come out. It's just standard, isn't it?
Yeah. So there we go. That's myth busted a few, and confusion amongst another one. It's mad how they can. It's mad how well it is though, isn't it? It's mad how they can choose their own fluctuation, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean it's a forced thing, isn't it? So if a dog or any animal is comfortable and in an environment, it could be hot and cold and whatever, but if they can have a choice of being in a warmer bit or a colder bit, they make that choice. It's not that stressful, is it? Yeah. The minute you force them to be too hot or too cold or lack of oxygen or poor water quality, it's not good, is it? It's like Crafty. I mean, I think his daughter wanted to go home, but he's just sat there fucking munching away. I'm not driving nowhere.
Mate, I can't eat a McDonald's and drive at the same time.
No, you can't use both hands. Are you still at the cabinet thing, asking for more?
Not a button to press, they come to me.
He's waiting for the apple pie for Pinky. Grave Digger has asked me, how have you found it working at exclusively koi so far? Is it everything you thought it, or totally different now you have worked inside the koi business? To be fair, mate, there's a lot of new stuff, a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have thought would have been, you know, for example, I'll give you a prime example. I was asked by a client if I could perhaps maybe get him a picture of a fish, like an update. Now, obviously, I thought, you know, take a picture of his fish. We've been taking pictures of fish all day. But then the realistic side of it is it worthwhile taking that particular one fish out, put it in a box, take a picture and a photo and a picture of it, and run the risk of all those other customers' fish is taking a knock or losing a scale or splitting a fin? No, it's not. See, to me, which would have been a straightforward, oh yeah, I'll get you a picture of your fish, not thinking of it alongside of all the other people's fish and stock that's in there. So things like that are a lot. No, it's stuff for me to learn and new things that I wouldn't think twice taking a picture of my own fish, but there's a lot less fish in there. And obviously all those other fish are owned by me. So there's not much of an issue, but that kind of thing, it's interesting to learn the things and the bits and bats within the trade. And obviously, you know, all the other stuff that's going to come to how to deal with seeing all these new fish now come in that I can be a part of and learning all the processes that are going to be there for bringing those fish on throughout the quarantine. Last time I just got down to there and actually down for the evening to see the fish come out and put them in a bowl, put them from a bowl back into the area. And I didn't see them that week following or the weeks following, just bits and bats of it, missed some of the processes. So learning to deal with stuff like sleeping koi disease or the other issues that might arise that year, how they'd go about doing that. That's the bit that I'm looking forward to it and being around it to see how it all happened. So it's a lot different to what I expected, mate, for some aspects. And there are other bits that, you know, it's cleaning filters. It's taking care of fish. It's straightforward, everything that you would do, just magnified to the amount that you would do it in your own pond. So yeah, stuff is identical. Other stuff is going to be a lot of different. Patience and learning and information and knowledge. That's the best bit about it. Have I got a favourite? Oh, 100%, mate. Yes, 100%. Ioki's, mate. My God. I loved them when I seen them, and I seen them when they come in. I was like, oh. I said to Ryan and to Kev, I said, well, I found my pond. That's it. I'm just going to be walked past wanging an handful of food in there. Them fish are mint. There is some absolute bangers. And if I'm going to be completely honest, out of all those, I mean, some of them are smaller, some of them are, bigger fish. But yeah, there's some bangers in there. I'd give my dad some more of my fish and take some of them and grow them on. It's absolutely stunning, beautiful.
You'll be doing that more and more, Gus.
I know, mate. That's the thing, innit? I am literally going to be. I mean, I was wowed to see my own fish and see it again and think, yeah, mint. I'm glad I picked that fish. So I was wowed a bit by that one. That was probably my favourite because it's mine. But yeah, to see Ioki's fish come in and to see the ones that Ryan picked, absolute bangers. So yeah. And,
that was my favourite.
and the second one after that, 100% gonna be Shinoda's, man. The Deutsch Shinoda's that came in. Yeah, send them all, man. They speak for themselves. They're absolutely stunning. And for all those that want to see them, go check out Exclusive the Koi's video, guys, that they dropped out this evening, and you'll see all these fish that I'm talking about. But yeah, some absolute bangers. And don't forget, jump on to Exclusively Koi, because Crafty also did a live warts and all of his perfect aquatics.
Come on, Gaz.
Crafty Koi. It's Crafty Koi, man.
Well, it was.
YouTube channel.
Was it on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, all my stuff's on my channel.
Right, sorry. On Crafty Kois. Go and have a look on there because he did warts and all and everything of introducing all his fish from his shipment. I don't know if Matt's done anything. If he has, fingers crossed, he'll put it out there for you to have a look at as well.
On TikTok.
TikTok.
It's on TikTok. Well, there you go. Matt, Howie Koi on TikTok. Is it Howie Koi?
It is, yeah. Did you like the one today, Crafty?
They need work.
Great Duke says, cheers for the insight, guys. I'm just looking, all I can say, Dave, is I'm looking forward to just learning more and being around people like them that have got the knowledge that can share it with and learn more like I've done every week we sit here and talk every week. So, yeah, more of the same and better.
I'm going to get off. I am still listening, but I thought that you could share my dinner with me. Because
yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
you remember when you watch yourself back? You remember when we were kids and there used to be that advert when it used to say, "For mash, get smashed."
oh yeah,
That's pretty much how you've sounded all night, like those robots.
Mint. Mint. That's what I sound like now, mate. I've had an operation. Anyway, love you.
Love you too.
Catch you later, bud. Drive safe.
All the
Matt, put the videos put a video of some of his that came in. Kelly says, put some of your videos up if you've got some. Share some.
You put them on TikTok.
TikTok. Oh,
I just actually let me send this to you guys. This is unreal. This isn't mine. I don't believe in self-promoting.
oh.
Or have a look at that beast.
Nothing's on, mate. Can't see it.
There we go. Oh, I saw this thing. What the hell is it? I've seen it.
Looks like a genuine otter of some description.
This looked weird, man. I thought that kind of looked, yeah, not my cup of tea, mate, but
It's a beast, though, isn't it?
it is a beast of a fish. Look at that. I
What is
mean,
it, Rick? What do you put that down to, Rick?
What you put it down to?
As in variety.
It's had some work done on it.
yeah. But surely it's an achiever,
I don't know. That's more like a Goshki, isn't it?
right?
Is that my colour? I don't know.
Faith
Yeah.
on that. It's like
Susan says, "I'll take it." I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have that given. And if somebody give it me and insisted that I took it away, I would gift it on.
no,
That
you
would
wouldn't.
be a
Gaz.
fish to pay forward.
You
my
wouldn't,
opinion.
guys. You're always up for a free
It's
bit.
fucking horrible. That is horrible. Even the fact that it's a marathon, it's horrible.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, but that marathon, you can see where you
Yeah.
obviously where it's cut. You leave some of that. It's just.
It's
I
like
don't
our
know.
pandas. Faith.
Maybe a Kage and Achiever.
For my colour, that's
Then
red,
that's a
but
Yeah, it's
Dunno.
not my cup of tea. That I can appreciate the fact of its, its size and its stature to it, but yeah, no, I won't be. It looks AI generated. That's what I thought till I seen it.
Strange looking fish.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it is. Yeah, not for me. I spotted that about 3 days ago, Matt, when it came on.
You'd be chuffed to catch that on a modern line, though, wouldn't you?
I reckon it's scared shit out of me if I caught that. How the f is it?
It'd be nice to see it's actually swimming round to see if it can, or what it looks like shape-wise, because it looks a bit.
Yeah, random.
So you're not
Any more for
self-promoting?
any more? Go on, say again.
I thought Matt's not for self-promoting. I thought he was going to start putting some stuff on.
Hang on, man.
Come
Oh,
on,
no.
man. Go on, you twisted me arm.
Someone's got to self-promote something.
Oh.
I'd say I come back from Japan and looked at my toes and went, "Fuck me, I'm good. Don't need to go to Japan anymore."
Man, but that's good, though, isn't it?
That's got that's taking a piss a bit, but yeah, I did.
No, but you've got to have been happy with what you do produce because this you're on par with.
On some varieties, it's there or thereabouts. It's just the numbers thing, isn't it? As much as anything, when you go out there and you see how good the fish are and the numbers. Oh, is it me singing?
No, it's not. No, it's on it tonight, isn't it?
I'm
It really is. That fish and chips for you.
Oh, that's quite mad, though, isn't it?
Oh,
Almost as good as your cake.
dear.
To be fair, though, Matt's birthday Sankey cake, whatever that
Cake
was.
was pretty good.
They're
Yeah.
smart.
Is this going to be a legit one now this time?
It is, yeah.
You're going to stop messing about?
Stop messing about. He got serious in Japan one morning and got right moody when I was taking the piss.
Oh, I can imagine it. If you were. Oh, look at that! Jesus Christ, they're nice.
They're both sold now before I get asked.
They're both sold.
They are nice.
They are really nice. Now they're going about right, ladies and gents. Let's have a quick one. Left or right? Which would you go for? If you were picking personally, Matt, which would you pick?
The Matsuba.
The Matsuba.
I'll go Crashy Guy.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I would have done all.
The colour of that's mad, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I
beautiful.
remember when we picked it. It's lovely. It's just like, wow, that's just insane.
I mean, they're both two fish that have got to do everything with the scalation, aren't they? Pretty much. The Matsubas, the Alan Tate left. Yeah, me too. Well, and that's why I'd have gone for two. That's really nice.
They were both good fish, though. And Marahira had hundreds of them. Fucking hell.
It's ironic because the Kwashigai was sold over there, the Matsuba, because they travelled together 6,000 miles to come back. The wife of the gentleman that bought it said we can't split them up after doing 6,000 miles, so we'll have the other one as well.
See, a lot of people gone right there. There's not so many gone for the left, but the ones that know what they know have gone left. That's all I can say. Mr. Tate says left. You've got to go left, folks. But that's the judge's choice, the left fish.
At the end of the day, they're both seriously
Oh,
good
100%,
examples.
mate. I mean, that's a very nice Akamatsuba, but that's a very nice Karashigoi. That's mint. They're nice, them, man. You got any more? Did you just send another one?
Yeah,
Richard's
I'm on the roll now.
It's on a roll now.
Brand
So
Camp,
that's-
family kite. George said left. Brand family said left. I mean, yeah, I would have both, but yeah, if I had to pick, it would definitely be the left one.
But it was buy one, get one free anyway. Definitely.
Now these,
So-
who's are them's?
And you're going to ask me that.
Come on, mate, you should know what fish you got.
I've been drinking. But
I
you
got-
always do better when you're drunk.
That's standard.
Look at the last one, the guys I sent you.
Which way do I go, Matt? Oh, that's sweet. Went right way. Are these all your new imports then? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Oskai.
Hozukai, Yoshino. What else you got in there?
And Kawakami. Kawakami. My babies.
You just need to know which way to use your mobile phone. I might just
You shouldn't have to tell him that, should you? Because
It's your goddamn hand.
Vince has been giving it that.
Right.
Now we know. Now we know who can't use the phone.
Yeah, now we know who the culprit is.
But I didn't take the video for YouTube purposes.
That's
You
why you're
can't-
supposed to do both. One's for your TikTok, one's for your clients, one's for your channel.
Look good, some of
It just
them, mate.
It amazes me how literally, and you can see the cold water going in there. There's no food going in there, and they are literally just playing around in the cold water going in. It's weird.
What a selection of fish, eh?
So
You
what
must
you're
have been
saying
out
there,
there.
Matt, is your fish are swimming to the cold water that's being added.
Yeah, that's 6 degrees water going into 18 degrees pond.
Funny that mine do the same, mate. When I put cold water in too, mine swim to it.
If your cold water's warmer than your hot water.
I knew that was coming.
They do. They look mad considering they've just been shipped and they're in there. They look
Yeah.
spot
Come
on.
through well, haven't they? Come through good
Yeah.
on shipments then. That's good to see.
Look at that tancho though. It's sex.
Look at dial on that, as somebody would say. You must have heard that a few times.
No, all we had was on mint condition. It's like, Ryan, you're not mint condition, mate. I was like, you're definitely not.
So how's the new ponds all doing? Is it coping well? Everything, no problems, no issues. Touch wood quick if you have.
Much wood. The pond, that particular pond's out of my control in the sense of it's got more fish in there than what I originally wanted in there. But yeah, it's manageable. The
All
beauty
good.
the beauty for me is obviously the water's coming straight from the ground out of the borehole. So I don't have to particularly worry about it. It's always exactly the same. I've never seen any variance. Like I say, we test it, or it gets tested every 3 months, which has got to by the council. And it's always been the same. Yeah, the temperatures fluctuate, but apart from that, no. So I can just dump it straight in now and know it's okay. So in effect, if I could afford to keep heating it, I could actually just in and out it at full speed.
Excuse me. Somebody did ask a question now. Sorry, just saw it earlier on. Something about a filter. Sure it was.
Matt doesn't need filters. He can just bang borehole water through and heat it up. He's made of money.
It was before all the lefts and rights and the rights and the lefts. Steelman David asked a quick one for you, Rick. What's the most unusual fish at New Forest Koi?
A good one. Oh, that's bad.
Oh,
But that's sold.
That's it. That's stuff. It's hidden. What's the most unusual fish at New Forest Koi? I don't know. Depends what we're producing each year. Yeah, I don't know. A good tancho is pretty unusual. I haven't learned to cut them properly. Once I get that on, I'll be fine.
Don't even say that.
Suddenly, we'll have hundreds of them next year. New breeding set.
What about this one then? Get your opinions on bead filters.
What they're playing. I think you see how many of them are out in Japan? Fucking shitloads of them.
I think a bead filter for somebody that is a regular maintenance person is fine. But I think if you've got a lazy person with a bead filter, you'll get the tracking going up through it. And then you end up with a load of issues.
Yeah, I think the concept works all right. But yeah, because you haven't got the transparency to see what's going on, I've been to numerous, like Matt said, where people go, oh, that's not working properly. And yeah, you've got a donut of solid shit and beads. But it's but to be fair, it's the same as any filter. My drum filter's no good. Well,
Screens filter,
screen's fucking blocked, or you haven't put the bypasses in. You're just bypassing it, or whatever. There's numerous scenarios. I've been to chamber filters that are just solid, that just are wearing over the top of shit because it's
all filters do the job if you use them how they're supposed to be used, and if you maintain them how they should be maintained. They all have the place, don't they?
I think that for me the biggest issue filters are stuff like the pressure canisters and the ones you can't see in. Yeah, the ones you ignore until there's a problem, and then you realise when you open the canister, because some of these were these swirly whirlies that are supposed to clean them. I don't know how turning a bit of foam round cleans.
I mean, in the theory of a wash machine spinning it around really fast, it gets all the water out of it, and you'd expect something, but you don't work like that, does it? And that's the kind of concept that they're going with. Some of them are compressed, don't they? And you can do that pumping motion backwards, forwards, compressing the sponge and then flush it again, compressing it until it runs through. Maybe not as bad, but you still, like you say, you can't physically see it, can you? You can't see it like you can with other filters that you can take them out, clean them and put them in. I think, I see it regular. Simple filtration seems to work the best.
Yeah, if you can see what's going on and make sure the water's going across the filter media in the way it's supposed to, which I think where a lot of the moving beds win, because you can see what's going on and it's doing its thing, innit? Back in the old day, you had the sand filters and stuff, which are great. They're great at polishing stuff, but again, if you're not aware of what you're doing, it just don't work.
Bad build-up of stuff you don't want happening.
I don't think there's a bad filter. I think there's bad maintenance or bad.
Yeah.
Just they all filter something. A lot of them filter something and then block, and then the water just bypasses it, and next thing you know, the problems, the fish are in trouble, aren't they? Or the pond,
it doesn't really matter what. I mean, like you were saying there, with a drum filter. A drum filter is probably one of the best filters you can get. But if you don't do your maintenance and you don't clean your screens and you don't, eventually they'll run into a problem.
Yeah, they often do.
Yeah.
And again, the drum filter is literally just a mechanical bit, isn't it? So realistically, that's just one stage of your filtration, And okay, when a drum filter is done right and working right, it takes a massive load off the biological section, and there's no shit going in the biological section, so you never need to clean that. Technically,
so you can technically just
that's always the one that I get asked when I'm doing the filters about the drums. why the drum's so much more advantage over the pressure filter or chamber filter, and it is what you just said then, Ricky. You're taking half the shit away from the filter. Your bacteria doesn't have to break down the shit. All it's got to do is convert the.
Give us your sales pitch, Matt. Go on, do it.
No, I'm not doing that.
He doesn't self-promote. As we've seen on my Facebook. I don't know what.
Dave says he was thinking of running a sieve, then a bead, then into a UV, and then on the end for over a backy shower.
Yeah, you can. But I mean, you're just doing. Sieves have their own problems.
Yeah. You go away for 2 days and it blocks up, overflows, and half your pond's empty.
Yeah. So yeah, again, they work. They're like a drum, but they're like a one you've got to perhaps be more hands-on with because it's the same kind of screen and it just done differently.
Yeah.
Bead again, you're somewhere between mechanical and biological. And again, if you're using a sieve, then the bead should have no shit going in it, so that should perhaps work better. But yeah, I don't know. It's each to their own. How much time do you want to spend? Some people love cleaning their filters and are out there. That's part of keeping fish, playing with your filtration system, doing that maintenance and purges and cleans. And that's something you do as part of your koi keeping. And other people don't look at a filter until the day the pond goes mank and go, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah.
And then they open the filter and it's just a solid load of crap. So,
Right then, next one. What is the ideal pH for koi?
A stable one.
yeah, good question. Yeah,
Good question.
Yeah.
Yes. Well done, Chris Chambers. There you go, mate. This is the reason why I've asked it. It's because he's asked it in the group. So at the end of the day, what better way to come up with a topic and have a chat about it?
I think in reality, for growing fish, a slightly lower pH, but to hold the pH at say 6.7 to 7 is incredibly hard because you naturally to buffer it needs to be higher than that. So you've either got to be incredibly good at your maintenance. So the lower pH tends to be better for Benny. They do. It's difficult. We run a much higher pH because it's safer. Safety wins. But if you're trying to get a decent
Let's say, for example, if you like I say, you got a carcoo, you want to grow the stink out of it, but you don't want it to lose its Benny, but you want to get some good body and some good size in it. I've heard a lot of people, and I don't need to say it, you know you are, talk about having a lower pH with a lower KH because it helps with the growth of the fish.
I'm not sure it helps the growth. It helps the longevity. It keeps the Benny softer for longer. So you tend to find that.
Yeah, so you're not
higher KH, higher pH. You can still grow a fish. That's not, you can still grow a fish.
Yeah, but if you grow it too fast and you're losing the Benny,
you don't. It's not so much losing it. You tend to find that it finishes and hard. It gets darker but harder, and you tend to get more shimmies and stuff. So to keep the longevity of the Benny, you want to keep it unfinished for longer, which you can do in softer water, and then work on the right. Okay.
Yeah,
rather than having it in a situation where it peaks and then goes beyond too early, which quite often happen if you've got that kind of harder, higher KH, higher pH sort of water. But if you're someone like a farm that wants your fish to look nice at 2 years old, then you kind of want that. And safety for most people, a pH of 7.5, 8 that's got a higher KH and higher GH, a lot safer water. You're not going to have the problems with, acid problems with the filtration going to shit. So, yeah, we'd always recommend harder water is definitely, for most people, the best option. And the
see, I've now that my water supply has changed and my KH drops through the floor, I have to keep mine buffered, which means that my pH is relatively always at 8.3 or 8.2. Has to be, because I buffer up to get my KH up, or otherwise my filter's screwed. So I've got no choice.
You're making the water safe.
Over.
If you could be more balanced, you could use it and keep it lower, have a lower KH, but be on top of it, so you know the pH is not dropping below a certain point, and you could then perhaps. But there's no point doing that unless you're running at 25 degrees.
That's what I mean. There's no real benefit. I just want to keep a stable pH because I haven't got the heat to get that growth benefit. Rest of it out of it. So
that's the point, isn't it? If you people going about, oh, you got to buy fish that got the good genetics to grow big. Yeah, great. But if you haven't got the pond at the right temperature and you haven't got the right light regime and the right food regime, you ain't going to get that growth anyway. So you need everything in line to get the benefit of the genetics or the benefit of what you're trying to do. There's no point having your pond at 24 degrees and buying fish that only go to 40 centimeters, look pretty, but they're not going to grow. If they haven't got the genetics to grow big, it doesn't matter what environment you give them, they're not going to grow big. And if you get fish with good genetics that can grow big, but you give them the wrong environment, they're not going to grow big. If you give them the wrong food, they're not going to grow big. There's so many variables, which is why there's so few people that grow good big fish.
Yeah.
And when you go out to Japan, you see how many good big fish are out there. You're like, oh, shit, it's doable, but it's difficult, isn't it? You know, so a farm's got the resources to have X amount of fish that they can grow big to swim around looking nice.
Yeah.
Guys, bring up Dale's comment and let Ricky answer that one.
Is it question me, Knight?
The highest I've ever had my KH is 2 most of the time. 0. I've never had any problems.
Well, yeah, but
You see, if you, am I right in saying this? And I'm not saying it. I'm so correct me if I'm wrong. If you've got a 0 KH, then your KH starts, or the nitrifying bacteria uses KH as a source, doesn't it?
yeah, so you got general hardness.
So if your KH is 0, it starts affecting your pH.
Your pH should be dropping off.
Yeah,
to be a big problem. So
you're running a knife edge, but always on a knife edge.
At the end of the day, if you've got water that's going in as that, and you can put plenty of fresh water in, it's not such a problem, is it? It's the highest I've ever KH free, but I've never had a problem with what I don't know. If you've run your pond with no fresh water, and you've got a KH and nothing, then at some point it's going to turn into an acid bath very quickly.
It's going to crash.
But at the end of the day, and the trouble with test kits, we had a problem at work with test kits for I'm having a beer now. So our water, they test for the general hardness, I think it is. They test for magnesium in the water. Not so you think you're testing for, you put your drops in and you think, oh, my KH or whatever. Could have been KH. So you put your test kits in and it's testing for one element to give you a reading. But you could have seriously high amounts of calcium in your water and seriously low amounts of magnesium in your water and get a result that's not actually true because you're just using a test kit that's testing for one thing.
Yeah.
Our water tests incredibly soft, but it tests soft because we haven't got any magnesium in our water, but it's incredibly high in calcium. So, which is why we use dolomite, which is incredibly high in magnesium. That's the reason for it. So you don't necessarily know unless you're sending your water off to be tested.
Really, technically, you'd need, if you've got that, you'd need a proper analysis of your water to find out exactly what you've not got.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you're using tap water, that's going to change from where the source water is coming in and whatever else. But the reality is, the fundamentals of water is if you're running X amount of water and you're putting an amount of food in it, and that's being turned into waste product that's being broken down by a biological filter, that needs X amount of calcium, X amount of minerals. And as soon as they're gone, then your pH is going to fall. And you can't get around that. It's not like, oh, I've done this and I've done that. There's certain factors that happen through a biological process. And without replenishing one thing, this will happen. But yeah, you can test your water and you might find that, like I say, you might certain test kits say they test for this, that, and the other, but actually they're testing for one element to give you a broad range of this water's hard, this water's soft.
Yeah.
It's not
And that'd be why he's dropping from a 2 to a 0, because his filtration's using it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the filters use a lot. The fish use it as well, but certain foods contain higher levels of calcium and stuff in it. So depending on what, there's so many elements, it's not quite as
Simple.
Nothing's ever as simple, is it? You got to take everything in conjunction as a
Yeah,
whole.
well, there's lots of other elements that affect other elements that affect other elements, isn't there? It's all, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all relative, and at the end of the day, it's if you're doing well, if your fish are happy and your water's good, generally you're onto a good thing. Saying that,
yeah, I suppose if Dales are comfortable, the pH is always around 7.2 to 7.8, but your KH is 2, and then drops to over time. It drops to 0, so your filtration's using it.
But you're saying it drops to 0 over time. So then what? Does he use fresh water or add sodium or?
Yeah, are your water changing, and that's just keeping it as it is? See, my KH was and my pH was stable for the first 2 years of having a pond, and then just changed.
Yeah. So yeah, we've had all sorts of grief with we use different water sources at work, and they have different positives and negatives on them. So for safety, generally the harder the water is, the safer it is, the more stable it is, just the easier it is to deal with.
Honey, or ornamental statues just move them, mate, in background.
She keeps coming in at me and going. She can hear Rick.
Right then, ladies and gents.
No, don't listen to me.
Rick did say he didn't want a 2 later one, and I've got to go make sure that my other half has got everything that she requires and needs, and I have got my tea to eat at some point as well. So for all those that haven't done already, can you do us a huge favor? Make sure you get in touch with your details and addresses so I can forward them as necessary, and then get the stuff out, bang out to you. Usual thing. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, guys, do us a huge favor. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. And until next time, keep smiling.
Send your fishing when we're doing the appreciation next. Soon.
Yeah, well, we want to get out the cold attempts, don't we? But we're going to, that will be the next one, which will be coming back very soon. The koi appreciation. Everybody's
a big one from Ryan Stock every week and go,
I can pick all sorts now, can't I? Check this out for an appreciation. Ka-ching, have a look at that. Lovely. Keep smiling, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, all.
Bye-bye.
Gotta give up.